From the Clark Athletic Center here on the campus of UMass Boston, it is the UMass Boston Invitational, the first of 4 games this weekend for the Beacons as they host the Clark University Cougars. Bill Spaulding with you inside the Clark Athletic Center on the Beacons Broadcast Network. Should be a good one for the Beacons against a very talented Clark squad that's off to a 17-4 start this year. The Beacons are 7-12, but they come in winners of their last 4 home matches and come in off a 3-sets-to-love sweep against Rhode Island College. On that Rhode Island College match, they hit well, but the biggest reason why was the play of the setter, Pepper Baker, who had a huge match for UMass Boston, and Pepper Baker is our player to watch today for the Beacons. Pepper Baker, a junior from Tallahassee, Florida, and she has had just a tremendous year. She converted in the middle of last year from hitter to setter, and she's already into the top 10 in terms of career assists. She's 4th this year in assists for sets, and last season had 511 career sets. So she has been just outstanding for the Beacons. Well, Clark from just down the road in Worcester, these teams have played plenty of times before as they enter today in the UMass Invitational. We'll take a look at the all-time series for the Beacons and the Clark Cougars out of the NEWMAC Conference, the New England Men's and Women's Athletic Conference. Clark leads the series 2-love, including a 3-sets-to-1 win for Clark the last time these two teams played 2 years ago. That was when Julia Murphy was a freshman for the Beacons, and she led UMass Boston with 12 kills in that match. Beacons 7-12, Clark 17-4. We'll turn the page to the season statistics this year, where you can see Clark has hit the ball so well. You'd expect that when you see a team at 17-4, but they're hitting 204 as a team. They play great defense as well, 17 digs per set. One area where the Beacons might have an advantage is at the net. The Beacons average more than 2 blocks a set, while Clark doesn't get all that many blocks. They average only 0.93 blocks per set. For the individual players, the Beacons are led by a freshman, Eileen Shee. She leads the team with 189 kills. And, of course, Julia Murphy, the reigning Little East Player of the Year, is second on the team in kills, also top of the team in hitting percentage. On the flip side for Clark, Marina Ramos has been just tremendous. She's a sophomore, was the Freshman of the Year in the NEWMAC last year. This year, already 262 kills to lead the way. And she's helped out by freshman Ana Mercado, who's hit 262. They have a great setter as well in true freshman Rachel Webb. Clark is coached by Mike CAHOON, who is sitting on 99 career wins. He could get win number 100 with a win today. The Beacons have co-head coaches Terry Condon and Mike Houlihan. It's Mike Houlihan's 3rd year as co-head coach. It's Terry Condon's 11th year overall. You look at Mike Houlihan's record, 51-39 as a head coach. Beacons 159-66 over about the last decade. We'll be getting things going here in about 2.5 minutes, but first we'll step aside on the pregame show for the Beacons Broadcast Network. Beacons and Clark Cougars coming up next on the Beacons Broadcast Network. You guys. Back here as we get set for the first of 4 UMass Boston matches in this UMass Boston Invitational. Overall, 5 teams, each playing 4 matches. Take a look at the starting lineups. First for visiting Clark, again 17-4 this year out of the NEWMAC Conference. They have a great libero in Mia Cattaneo, a junior. Marina Ramos, one of the top outside hitters in the league, and she will come in off the bench in the rotation. Ana Mercado up top is really outstanding, and Shannon Glass-Smith, a senior from Albuquerque, is one of the leaders as well. Now we'll let the Beacons introduce themselves.
I'm Pepper Baker. I'm a junior, and I'm from the oh-so-classy Tallahassee, Florida.
Hi, I'm Bri Sousa from Swansea, Massachusetts, and I'm a senior.
Hi, I'm Julia Murphy. I'm a junior from Canton, Massachusetts.
Hi, my name is Diedrick, and I'm a freshman from Canton, Michigan.
Hi, I'm Eileen Shee, freshman from San Francisco, California.
Hi, I'm Colin Cohen. I'm a junior from Centerville, Massachusetts.
That's set for action here on the Beacons Broadcast Network as the teams line each side. UMass Boston in the white. Clark wears the black. Just one matchup at the 3 o'clock hour, but we have the dual court set up here at the Clark as part of this UMass Boston Invitational. At 5 p.m., Bowdoin will play Clark, and Augsburg will play Roger Williams. At 7 p.m., UMass Boston will play Augsburg, and Roger Williams will play Bowdoin. Then tomorrow, the Beacons play Bowdoin at 11 a.m., while Augsburg plays Clark at 11 a.m. At 1 p.m. tomorrow, Bowdoin and Augsburg play along with Clark and Roger Williams. Then wrapping things up at 3 p.m., Roger Williams and UMass Boston. And Beacons in white, Clark in black. A UMass Boston team that's gotten off to a pretty hot middle stretch of the season here after starting slowly out of the blocks, including at home, where UMass Boston has won 4 consecutive home matches to bring the record to 4-3. Officials just checking through the rotations here. And then we'll be off and running. UMass Boston 4-1 in Little East play. Clark is 6-2 so far this year in the NUMAC. NUMAC has one of the lone ranked teams in the region in the top 25. MIT clocks in at 23rd in the most recent national coaches poll. Beacons rotated in libero. Elizabeth Glavin, one of the all-time best liberos in program history. Mia Catania, the libero for Clark, also cycles in, and we're set to go with Pepper Baker, the junior from Tallahassee, starting the serve. And we're off and running. First of 4 matches this weekend for UMass Boston. Quick tip over the net from Hannah Fox is picked up well by Glavin. The Beacons struggle to pass it the rest of the way. Clark gets the first point of this match. So Clark will serve straight into your living room here this first set. Marina Ramos, reigning NUMAC Freshman of the Year, drops in an ace, and Clark's off to a quick 2-0 start. Ramos was 5th in the league with about 500 kills last year. Now here, year 2, already 262 kills for the Cougars. Baker, good pass. Sousa bangs it through the block, and the Beacons are on the board. First kill for Bri Sousa, her 97th of the season. Sousa, the lone senior on a very young Beacon club. Eileen Shee, one of those young freshmen with a good service. And now a lift. So a passing error by Clark, and we're all square at 2. Shee back to serve. She's a freshman from San Francisco. Leads the team with 189 kills this year. Another very good serve from Shee, and the Beacons take a 3-2 lead. 3 in a row for UMass Boston. She goes with the float serve, that time targeting Marina Ramos. Baker the set. Good swing from Cohen, and the Beacons take another point. Clark was into the net there, so 4 in a row for UMass Boston and a 4-2 lead for the Beacons. It's a time of year where if you look over the past few seasons for UMass Boston when they've made their tournament runs, this is when they start to get hot and they carry that play through the postseason. Always schedule very tough at the beginning of the year. Sousa has her 2nd kill and her 98th of the year. Senior captain from Swansea. Five in a row for UMass Boston and a 5-2 lead as Shee goes wide left on the service. First service error for the Beacons. Clark finally ends the run and gets the freshman Shee off the service line. Libero Mia Catanio's service, played by Glavin. Now that's pounded by Haley Diedrick, and Ramos does enough to scramble and keep it alive. Sousa got the tip. It's her 3rd kill, 99th of the year as she approaches triple digits. Had 127 kills last year, 148 as a sophomore. Here's junior Elizabeth Glavin, an honorable mention All-American last year. And she starts her service run with an ace. Glavin was named the New England Defensive Player of the Year last year. More than 1,000 career digs. And she's helping the Beacons here early with a 7-3 lead. Beacon block hammers one down. But that drops in from the back line. Ramos found a hole. Just fisted it into the corner. Clark back within 3. Ana Mercado, freshman from Guaynabo, Puerto Rico, to serve. And it's long, well read on the back line. That was she and Diedrick who watched it go. Beacons take it back off the service error. Mercado and Ramos both from Guaynabo, Puerto Rico. Nice little pipeline for Clark coach Mike CAHOON. And a long service from UMass Boston's Colleen Cohen. Mike CAHOON in his 9th season with Clark has one of his best seasons going at this point, 17-4 on the year, and a win today would give him 100 for his career. Strong service from Shannon Glass-Smith, and Clark wins the point as the Beacons can't get it back over. Good challenge at the net from Courtney Farr. Murphy and Diedrick tried to combine on the attack. 2 in a row for Clark. It's an 8-6 scoreline in favor of UMass Boston. Baker the set. Murphy the kill. Julia Murphy, the reigning Little East Offensive Player of the Year, puts the Beacons back up 3. Boy, that was quick and tidy. Beautiful set from Baker, who got it to her on the 1-2. Float serve from Diedrick. Swing for Ramos. Glavin kept it alive. Glavin has another dig. Baker dumps it down the line. That's great vision from Pepper Baker. UMass Boston's back up 4. Swing for Ramos. Straight through the block. Powerful right arm of Marina Ramos. That's her 263rd kill of the year. Courtney Farr service. Baker the set. She bangs it off the block. Played her angle well to give the Beacons the kill. 11-7 UMass Boston. UMass Boston beat Rhode Island College 3-0 last time out to move to 4-1 in Little East play, right in contention for home playoff action. Long set from Baker. She has it dug out. That was Raimi Cabon with that backline dig. Baker for Sousa. Sousa got a piece. Baker for She. And she's got the kill. Eileen She pounds down another one. 12-7 UMass Boston, right about the midway point of this first set. That's stuffed straight down. Ended up down on the Beacon side of the net, though, so point to Clark. Sousa got the block but couldn't pound it back over. So it's Clark 8, UMass Boston now with 12. And the service comes for Tori Whitney. Baker the set. She, and we have a lift. Pepper Baker called on the double contact, so another point for Clark. 2 in a row for the Cougars out of Worcester. And they come in winners of 4 straight, beat Wheaton 3-2 last time out. She down the middle. And a net violation. So the Beacons get this point off the Clark net violation. UMass Boston runs its lead to 4. 13-9 Beacons. Now back where they started with Pepper Baker serving. Back set, and Fox pounds it down. Caught the net on a sharp angle. Second kill for Hannah Fox. Here's Marina Ramos to serve. Baker back set. She finds the hole. Beautiful set from Pepper Baker, and Eileen Shee picks up another kill, her second of this match. Now Eileen Shee serves. Baker the diving dig. Free ball for Clark. Fox. Now Baker the set. And Cohen finds the back line. Colleen Cohen with another kill. 15-10 UMass Boston. A very strong start for the Beacons against 17-4 Clark. That's straight into the net. Never got above the top line on Eileen Shee's service error. Biggest key to this start for UMass Boston has been the passing of Pepper Baker, picking out whoever she wants with her sets. Beacons have issues on the return, and that's out of bounds, was wide of the antenna. Tough serve from Cattaneo, 8-up Shee, 2 in a row for Clark, as the Cougars pull to within 3. Still plenty of time in this first set. In the first match of 15 scheduled. Down the line it goes, and it's a kill. Give Haley Diedrick the kill. That quick math, 10 matches over the next 2 days for this UMass Boston Invitational. 5 today, 5 tomorrow. Each team will play 4 times. Baker runs it down. She finds the hole. Put a little spin on it and dipped it in front of Cattaneo. UMass Boston's rattled off a couple in a row to go back up 5. Second time serving today for Glavin. And she's there to pick it up. Murphy off the block and down. Well, Clark doesn't block a whole lot, but Shannon Glass-Smith with an emphatic rejection there brings Clark within 4. 15th block of the year for Glass-Smith, the senior from Albuquerque. Baker has to scramble. Now Shee. Glass-Smith is stuffed. Hammered down on the block for Haley Diedrick. Murphy sliding over with her, but the freshman Diedrick got all of that one. Beacons hold an 18-13 lead, closing in on the end of this first set. Hard serve from Michaela Chianco, and out it goes. Did not catch a touch, so the Beacons stay up. Now a 6-point lead for UMass Boston on the hitting error from Marina Ramos. Chianaco's serve. There's a block, and Glavin can't dig it. Was headed out of bounds, so Glavin had to go after it. Give the kill to a sliding Marina Ramos, her third and 265th of the season. That's put down by Murphy off the block. Julia Murphy picks up her second kill. Kill number 176 for Murphy. UMass Boston 20, Clark 14 in this first set. Ramos missed it wide. It was set up for her, and she saw the gap but overshot the line. Largest lead of the match for UMass Boston at 21-14. She has it blocked. Baker, the dump. Cattaneo read it. Free ball for the Beacons. Baker again. Back for Murphy. And down it goes! Miscommunication on the passing there between Cattaneo and Farr. Beacons are now just 3 points away from taking the set. Baker got a piece on the block. Now the set, and she overshot Murphy. Too tall for 6-foot junior Julia Murphy. Beacon passing error makes it 22-15. UMass Boston, though, still in good shape here with a couple of side outs. Courtney Farr serves. A lot of spin on that one. She. Now Murphy goes soft, and it's kept alive. She battles at the net. Baker the set. Murphy, and it's down. Stuff blocked at the net. Ramos and Hannah Fox combined. Not an easy pass for Murphy there, who was off balance going for the loose ball. And tough return, and Clark's rattled off 3 in a row. Cougars are within 5, and UMass Boston will take its first timeout. Surprisingly, Clark had not taken a timeout, but UMass Boston has. Beacons have been led by strong hitting play, including this one from freshman Eileen Shee, off to a good start with 3 early kills. Get a look at this swing from Shee, straight through the block. That's a beautiful angle from Shee. Beacons got a block from Bri Sousa a bit later on as well. UMass Boston off to a good start against 17-4 Clark. 22-17. UMass Boston lead. Beacons will play later on tonight a 7 p.m. start against Augsburg. Meanwhile, Clark will play at 5 o'clock on this same court. They'll take on Bowdoin. 2 different courts set up today, one at this end, one at the opposite end of the court. So instead of our usual setup along the basketball court, they spread things out so they can easily get 2 matches side by side during this Beacon Invitational. Junior Courtney Farr from Seattle serves one in nicely. She picks it up, and that is a double contact. So UMass Boston's opened up the side door, and Clark's starting to sneak back in. Once down 8, it's now a 4-point UMass Boston lead. Murphy puts an end to that, hammering it down the middle. Had Farr isolated one-on-one and drilled it. Beacons 2 points away from taking the opening set. Murphy. Beautiful service. Cattaneo picks it up. This is free for the Beacons. Baker for Sousa. Ramos. What a dig on the back line. That was Steinberg who saved it for the Beacons. Now Sousa blocks it. Ramos flat-footed. Murphy keeps it alive. And the Beacons somehow get it over, but down the line, Ramos puts away the kill. Some kind of hustle by UMass Boston on that point. And like Clark had control from the start there. 23-19. Again, the Beacons just need a simple side out here to stay in good shape. Junior Tori Whitney from Sunderland, Massachusetts with the service. Glavin keeps it alive. She flat-footed. Now Sousa. Baker. And the libero Glavin pushes it into the back corner. Baker for Sousa, you betcha. Gorgeous setup again from Pepper Baker. Set point for UMass Boston at 24-19. Baker back to serve for the 3rd time in this first set. Has not lasted more than a point on either of her first 2 services. But puts this one away. An ace to cap off set 1. 25-19. UMass Boston takes the first set against Clark. That's a great start for the Beacons. Now, take a look at the upcoming schedule for UMass Boston. Beacons will play 3 more matches in this UMass Boston Invitational. Augsburg tonight, and then Bowdoin and Roger Williams tomorrow. Your 5 teams, UMass Boston, Clark, Augsburg, Bowdoin, and Roger Williams all will play each other during the UMass Boston Invitational. We'll take a quick break. When we return, we'll have second set action between UMass Boston and Clark here on the Beacons Broadcast Network. A great start for UMass Boston here against 17-4 Clark. Beacons take set 1, 25-19. So UMass Boston has an early lead in the first match of this UMass Boston Invitational. Beacons will go to play Augsburg later on tonight at 7 p.m. Take a look at those first set highlights for UMass Boston. Again, Beacons rolled through the strong play of setter Pepper Baker. Had some help from Eileen Shee, Julia Murphy. Bri Sousa had a few kills as well. See, Baker was on top of her passing game all along. There's a Sousa kill. Your top highlight from that first set for UMass Boston. So 25-19, set 1 win for the Beacons, who are in white. And now at the top of your picture, Clark in black. Trying to avoid its first loss in 5 matches. And the Cougars off to a 17-4 start this year. Really, every team in this tournament coming in with a good record. Beacons at 7-12, but they've played a ton of tough competition, including 5th-ranked Christopher Newport. Augsburg 16-6. Bowdoin is 13-4. Clark 17-4, and Roger Williams 14-8. So all very good teams. Augsburg in from Minneapolis. Well, everybody else is somewhat local. Bowdoin from Brunswick, Maine. Clark from Worcester. And Roger Williams from Bristol, Rhode Island. Both sides getting their rotation in order here as we get set to start set 2. You'd expect a strong response from Clark. Been very good this year. Had to go all 5 sets last time out against Wheaton. Beacons rolled in their last match on Wednesday, a 3-set-to-love sweep of Rhode Island College. First point of the second set, and Sousa picks up where she left off with her 100th kill of the year. It's her 4th of the match. Beacons go up 1-0. Quick finish on the other end as Tori Whitney, the setter, slammed it down on 2. So each team picks up a point in the early going, and now the junior Whitney, who was 5th in the new MAC last year in assists per set, is back to serve. Big swing from Haley Diedrick is picked up. Ramos, look at a diving dig by Glavin. And then it's dropped down beautifully. Colleen Cohn, the junior from Centerville, has her 2nd kill. Cohn transferred from Wheaton this year, and she's already up to 143 kills for the Beacons. Diedrick got a piece of that block. Glass Smith dumps it over. Beacons play it for Diedrick. Cross-court kill. Hammered down diagonally. Beacons again running early, a 3-1 lead. Roger Williams has arrived for its 5 o'clock match later on against Augsburg. As there's a service error off of Glavin's delivery. Brings the score to 3-2. Baker for Murphy, and she finds the back line. That was a tight set. Caught her near the face, and she somehow used her heel to knock it down. Ambidextrous Julia Murphy with another kill. And Murphy had that set on a tee. Oh, look out. 5-2 Beacons. Now, if you overpass towards Julia Murphy, you better be ready for a fireball coming right back at you. Murphy hammered that one. On the other side, big pickup. That was Steinberg keeping it alive. And now Diedrick. Oh, good dig, Ramos. Glass Smith stuffed by Murphy. On the backside, Mercado gets the kill. Hammered it through Glavin to bring the score to 5-3. It's a big momentum point there for Clark. Otherwise, Beacons would have been rolling. 4 points in a row, up by 4 early. Already up 1 set to love. Instead, it's a 2-point Beacons lead. Baker. Somehow Murphy got it over. Baker for Murphy. And Ramos keeps it alive. Now Glass Smith. Diedrick off the block. Playing ping pong here, back and forth. Baker the set. Murphy. And Catania does enough to keep it alive. Longest rally of this match as Baker finds Diedrick. Chance for Clark. Mercado. Baker on the joust, and it goes over. Courtney Farr couldn't pick it up. A marathon point ends with UMass Boston up 6-3. Here's Haley Diedrick, freshman from Canton, Michigan, to serve. Mercado puts it away. Found a hole on the back line, beat the block. UMass Boston 6, Clark 4 in this second set. Mercado to serve. The freshman has 194 kills this year and now drops in an ace. Spun it down in front of Michelle St. Louis. 6-5, Clark back within 1. Only lead today for Clark was 2-0 early on in the first set. Beacons have been in front ever since. Won the first set 25-19. She partially blocked. And down it goes off the flip. Courtney Farr gets the kill. First for the reigning all-NUMAC performer. Was second in the conference in blocks last year. All square at 6 as Eileen Shee is set to serve. Boom! Murphy hammers it down. Beacons end the 3-point run for Clark and go back on top 7-6. Now Julia Murphy back to serve. Farr misses it wide and didn't get the tip. Beacons go up 2. Murphy to serve. Junior from Canton. Her sister Olivia plays on the basketball team for the Beacons. She'll stay at the serving line as that one from Glass Smith sliced right into the net. On the outside, Glass Smith. Murphy used her shoulder to pick it up, and she gets the kill. Turning nothing into something there. The Beacons scramble. And they've rattled off 4 straight points to lead 10-6. Murphy into the netting. It's now a 10-7 scoreline. Shannon Glass Smith to serve for Clark. Here's she into the net. Didn't catch it cleanly. So Clark has rattled off 2 straight points. Glass Smith's service is not returned. An ace for Shannon Glass-Smith. Been riding the seesaw here in the second set. Beacons led by 4. We were tied. Beacons by 4 again. And now it's a 1-point match. That's out of bounds from Shannon Glass-Smith. But a good run at the service line for Glass-Smith, who rattles off 3 in a row. 11-9 Beacons as Pepper Baker returns to serve. Junior from Tallahassee has been so versatile. Came in as a hitter, but last year moved to setter, and now she's already top 10 in career assists for the Beacons. Diedrick for Baker. Now CAHOON off the block and down. Beacons stretch that lead back to 3 at 12-9 after a 6-point win in set 1. Baker's serve caught the tape and fell the wrong way. So give the point to Clark at 12-10. It's about as close as it could be for Pepper Baker to perfection at the tip line. Courtney Farr with a good hard serve, and she overpasses it right out of bounds. 12-11. Clark's gotten close, but they've never been able to get over the hump in this set. Still haven't led since 2-0 in set 1. And they won't lead here as Farr blasts the service long. Past the midway point of this set, Beacons 13, Clark 11. UMass Boston already up 1-0. And there's an ace for She. She caught the back line. Just stealing a point in a close second set. Another one from Eileen She. Baker the set. CAHOON pounds it off the block. Sousa gets a piece, and Baker can't pick it up. Ramos the kill through the block, 14-12. UMass Boston by 2, already leading 1-0 in the first of 4 matches for the Beacons and 10 matches overall in the UMass Boston Invitational. This is Tori Whitney to serve. Floats one to the back line. Pick up from Emily Steinberg. Now CAHOON taps it over and puts it away. Good effort from Whitney, but no chance getting there. Another kill, the third of this match for Colleen CAHOON. Glavin rotates in for Sousa, and she will serve. Beacon's got a piece of the block, and they're into the net. So net violation on UMass Boston. And Clark is able to stay within striking distance, still down just 2 points. Trying to get the sophomore from Puerto Rico, Marina Ramos, going. Reigning NUMAC Rookie of the Year and on pace to be an all-conference performer again this year. Baker the set. Overlapping run, and it's out just wide. Beautiful play as Diedrick snuck in behind Murphy to fool the block, but just missed the line. So now just a 1-point lead for UMass Boston as they try to take a 2-0 lead in this match. Baker sets it up. CAHOON puts it away. Straight through the block, never got up. A 16-14 lead. That was an odd-looking play from the Clark defense. They both just kind of sat back at the block. Hannah Fox, Shannon Glass-Smith didn't get there to alter the shot. Beacon lead 2 at 16-14. You see Mike Houlihan coaching hard for UMass Boston. Glass-Smith off the block and out. Wins the point for Clark. Very even second set, but the Beacons have had the lead the entire way in set 2, trying to go up 2-1 overall. Junior Mia Catania, libero from Santa Barbara, California, puts in a nice serve. Steinberg did all she could just to get the pickup. And now the kill ties things up. Ana Mercado levels us at 16. Get the feeling this set's going to come down to the wire. These two teams seem pretty evenly matched early on outside of that one early run for the Beacons. Murphy. And she has the kill. Ramos got a piece of it, but it snuck up on Catania, so the Beacons go back up 17-16, and Clark still has not led in this second set. Now it's on the freshman Haley Diedrick to serve. Picked up her 100th kill of the season earlier today. Mercado's blocked by Murphy. Furr blocked again. Now a free ball for the Beacons. The set. Murphy can't finish. That caught a piece. Maslock sets it up. She has it dug by Ramos. Free ball for UMass Boston. Set for Murphy, and she puts it away. Couple of blocks, and the finish for Julia Murphy. Beacons 18, Clark 16. With Pepper Baker out for a bit in this rotation, Rachel Maslock taking on the setting role, and she's put a couple good ones away. Eileen Shee bangs it off Farr's block and down. Beacons go up 3 with 3 consecutive points. Timeout Clark as UMass Boston has pulled its way within a 3-point lead and within 6 points of this second set win. We'll step aside quickly here on the Beacons Broadcast Network. And we're back on the Beacons Broadcast Network. UMass Boston with a good lead, 19-16, trying to go up 2 sets to love. Beacons have rattled off 3 consecutive points. They forced a Clark timeout. Haley Diedrick to serve. It's a good-looking serve, forced Ramos to dive. Free ball for UMass Boston. Set from Maslock. Murphy the finish! Quick trigger as Maslock fired that one across, and Murphy was ready to slam it down. Beacons 20, Clark 16. Beacons get a piece and keep it alive. Maslock the dig, but then some miscommunication, and it's out off Glavin. Clark ends the 4-0 run. Cougars with a slight pulse here in the second set, but need some big points from Anna Mercado at the service line. Set for Shee, and she's got it! Just enough to tap it over the block. Beacons by 4, 21-17. Murphy, good looking serve. Glass Smith is swinging off the block and gets the point for Clark. Still a 3-point lead for UMass Boston. If they just side out the rest of the way, they'll cruise to a second set win and a 2-set-to-love lead. Diedrick overpasses that serve return. Furr knocks it down. Courtney Farr goes finesse and fists it into the corner. 2 in a row for Clark. Cougars within 2. Another serve coming for senior Shannon Glass-Smith. She picks it up. Glavin keeps it alive. Maslock the dump, and it's picked up. That's Keybon with an outstanding pancake dig. Now she. And that time she beats Kibon down the line. Rami Kibon did it once, not twice. Beacons within 2 points of a set win. In fact, 3 points away for the Beacons at 22-19. Pepper Baker rotates back in Rachel Maslak's spot. She's on to serve here for UMass Boston. Kibon the return. Now Ramos stuffed down, but the re-triggers back through Baker. Sousa got the block. It blocked it so hard it ricocheted back off Clark, over the net and down. Cougars pull to within 2 at 22-20. Courtney Farr serves. Diedrick for she. Free ball. Ramos. Diedrick's got it again. Baker to the outside. Cohen off the block. Ramos overcooked it and did not get the tip. Right out of bounds. 23-20. Beacons by 2. Timeout Clark. So just 2 points away from the Beacons finishing off this set. Clark takes time. As they take time, we'll step aside as well. Beacons 23, Clark 20 on the Beacons Broadcast Network. And we're back here winding things down in set 2. Beacons trying to take a commanding 2-set-to-love lead. Won the first 25-19. It's a 23-20 lead for UMass Boston here in set 2 against 17-4 Clark to kick off this UMass Boston Invitational tournament. Ramos from the outside is blocked but out of bounds. Cougars get the point. Goes to 23-21. Beacons will play Augsburg at 7 o'clock tonight. At 5 o'clock, Bowdoin plays Clark. Augsburg plays Roger Williams. And when the Beacons are playing Augsburg at 7, Roger Williams will play Bowdoin. Beacons having to scramble here and can't get it over. Glavin did all she could, but Clark's within 1, making one last gasp for this second set. So Terry Condon will take timeout for UMass Boston. A couple points in a row for Clark, and another timeout on the floor. UMass Boston 23, Clark 22. And let's take a look at some of these second set highlights. Well, it's been a back and forth set. Beacons have gotten good play from Julia Murphy, who capped off a long run with that gorgeous spike. Murphy then later on using her shoulder for the pickup, and she with a Beacon kill. So 23-22 UMass Boston. If the Beacons can side out on this point, they will have a couple of set points to work with. If not, they'll open the door for Clark. Clark has been tied twice in this set, but they have never led. Their only lead of this entire match was 2-0 in the first set before the Beacons rattled off 4 points in a row to take a 4-2 lead and ended up winning that set 25-19. Tori Whitney back to serve. Baker plays it back and down it goes. Emphatic finish from Colleen Cohn. Set point UMass Boston at 24-22. Glavin for the set. Ramos keeps it alive. Sloppy passing gets it to Mercado. Dig for Glavin. For the set, Cohn drops it down, and the Beacons go up 2-sets-to-love. 25-19 and 25-22. Looking for its first win ever against Clark, UMass Boston rolling here to a 2-0 lead. Take a look at the Little East scoreboard. Only one other match tonight on the Little East docket. John Jay playing at Western Connecticut State. And that's a 6 p.m. start. Well, while we have a chance, we'll step aside. Beacons up 2-0 here on the Beacons Broadcast Network. And we're back here on the Beacons Broadcast Network. You just saw a couple of highlights from that second set. We can give them another look. Second set highlights for the Beacons as they scrape by with a 25-22 second set win. They now lead 2-0, 25-19, 25-22. Clark battled in that set, but the Beacons played some good defense. Colleen Cohn had a really good set, including the last 2 points for UMass Boston on an emphatic spike and a little bit of a tip. Beacons also got a lot of strong play from Julia Murphy, including that one off the overpass. Ana Mercado, Marino Ramos and company battled for the Cougars, but a little too much Murphy, a little too much Cohen down the stretch. There was Murphy using her shoulder to pick up a dig before she got the put away. And now the Beacons here in the first game of the UMass Boston Invitational stand just one set shy of opening up with a big win against a Clark team that enters this tournament at 17-4. UMass Boston in white, Clark in black. Clark will be at the top of your screen and UMass Boston at the bottom here for this third set. Beacons trying to postpone the celebration for Clark coach Mike CAHOON's 100th career win, at least until 5 p.m. when Clark will take on Bowdoin on this same court. Bill Spalding with you here from the Clark Athletic Center. We'll have all 4 UMass Boston matches this weekend on the Beacons Broadcast Network. That includes 7 p.m. tonight against Augsburg, 11 a.m. tomorrow morning against Bowdoin, and 3 p.m. tomorrow afternoon against Roger Williams. Pepper Baker to lead things off at the service line for UMass Boston, trying to win a 5th consecutive home match. Hard serve from Baker, eats up Catania. Beacons get a swing for point 1, and it's out of bounds. Cohen over pushed it. Clark has its first lead since 2-0 in set 1 after the Beacons won set 2, 25-22, and set 1, 25-19. Sousa ties things up. Another kill for Bri Sousa, who's picked up 6 of them today. It's service from Shi. And that's straight into the net. Ruled off a tip. Oh, ruled off the Beacons. From our angle, looked like that might have just caught all net. Instead, the point to Clark in a 2-1 lead. Here's libero Catania to serve. Baker the set, and Cohen the finish. 2-2. Colleen Cohen's having one of her best matches of her Beacon career. First-year transfer from Wheaton College. Has a half a dozen kills today. Now Glavin to serve. Mercado stuffed, and down it goes. Give Julia Murphy the block. Beacons take their first lead of this third set. Glavin floats one in. And that's out. Overkilled by Shannon Glass-Smith. Put too much mustard on it. Every time there's been an overhit from Clark, Beacons have been smart. Their blocks brought the arms down and avoided the tip. Glavin picks this one up. CAHOON off the block. Here's Diedrick. Clark scrambling. Cougars keep it alive. Glavin somehow got it up for Baker, but then the overpass. Pulls Clark back within one. Heck of a scramble by Elizabeth Glavin. Glavin with a good return. And Murphy can't quite get the kill. Ramos the dig. Whew, that was rocketed by Baker right at Murphy. Nothing she could do about that one. Came in on a low line. 2 in a row for Clark. 4-all here in this third set. Beacons do lead overall 2 sets to love here in set 3. Murphy, much better that time. Clean feed from Baker, and Murphy the kill. Good looking serve off the right hand of Michaela Chiacano. Diedrick got a piece. Baker for Murphy. Catania the dig. Long rally. Beacons play a free ball over. Glass-Smith caught the block. There's Diedrick. Good pickup by Savannah Sanford. Glavin. Here's Diedrick again. Kept alive. Longest rally of this third set. Baker for Murphy. And that's a carry. At the net, Murphy hammers one, and it's picked up. Tied at 5, Murphy again, and she's into the net. Give the point to Clark, and another lead for the Cougars at 6-5 here in set 3. Back to serve goes junior Savannah Sanford, and she finds the line. Biggest run of this match for Clark. They've scored 5 in a row to take a 7-5 lead in the third set. Cougars do have their back up against the wall here, trying to extend this match. Baker for Diedrick. And that's down off the block. So the Beacons get the point they needed. Diedrick back to serve at 7-6. Freshman Haley Diedrick floats one over. Back set for Mercado through the block and down. Anna Mercado makes it 8-6 Clark. Murphy stuff blocked. Only the second block of this match for Clark, and it goes to Hannah Fox. Clark by 3, and UMass Boston will take time. Largest deficit of this match for the Beacons, who lead 2-0 overall. And as they take time out on the floor, we'll take a timeout as well on the Beacons Broadcast Network. Good run here for Clark. They were down 5-3. They have scored 6 in a row to go up 9-6. UMass Boston's taken its first time out of this third set. Beacons do lead 2-0 overall. Murphy out of the timeout, and a net violation called against Clark. So the Beacons take the point out of the timeout and move it to 9-7. Murphy back to serve. Two-time reigning Little East Offensive Player of the Year and an honorable mention All-American last year. Good-looking serve from Murphy. And she has the ace. Hammered that one in front of Cattaneo to pull the Beacons within one. Whew. That's filthy from Julia Murphy. It's got another one coming. Pick up that time for Sanford. Now Ramos gets the kill. Now Marina Ramos hasn't had her biggest game by any stretch this season, but she's done enough to keep Clark in it. 2-point lead for the Cougars here in the third set. Tori Whitney. Tough slicing serve. Eileen Shee. Ramos off the block. And Sousa right into the net. Again, a tough set. Put her on her back heel. Clark reestablishes the 3-point lead. Baker for Shee. Off the block. Now Glavin for Shee. And it's under hit. Another point for Clark. 3 in a row for the Cougars. 12-8, the largest lead of this match for Clark. Baker on 2, and it's well read by Cattaneo. Baker over past Sousa, and another Beacon miscue. Wheels starting to wobble on the tracks a little bit, not quite derailed, but getting there in this third set. Beacon's down 5. Baker, again, overshot her intended target, but she saved the point. Now she with a block. Diedrick for Baker. Sousa! Oh, to dig by Cattaneo. Baker over on 2. Fooled everybody and snuck it down. A crafty play by the junior Baker, but down 4. Beacons could use a real service run from a player in Pepper Baker that's their highest risk but also highest reward server. She'll take chances back there. Puts this one down in front of Cattaneo. Cohen got a piece. Ramos with the kill. And once that block touched the first one up, it was just sitting there for Ramos with no defense in front. Clark quickly ends that service trip for Baker. Well, now the Beacons at least get Ramos on the back line as she serves. Cohen off the block and straight down. Hannah Fox again. Clark is up by 6 at 15-9. Beacons took set 1, 25-19, set 2, 25-22. Smartly done by Cohen. Saw the hole and pushed it back. Another kill, her 7th of this match. At 15-10, Beacons down 5. Eileen Shee, and that tape is just rude. Caught the tape, could have trickled over. Instead, it returned it to sender. Cattaneo with a hooking serve. And Cohen down the line. Well, now see if the Beacons can get something going. They've sided out effectively 3 times in a row, but So is Clark. The Beacons haven't been able to string a run together. Service error there from Glavin, and Clark is still up 6. Shannon Glass-Smith. Beacons pick it up. Baker. Baker the pass, and Murphy the finish. Timed it beautifully. And she was way up above the block. So back within 5. Clark will take a timeout. Cougar head coach Mike CAHOON got to be pleased with how his team's played in this third set, but with no margin for error, he'll chat things over and will step aside on the Beacons Broadcast Network. UMass Boston won the first 2 sets fairly easily, 25-19 and 25-22, never even trailing in that second set. But here in set 3, Clark 17, UMass Boston 12, as the 17-4 Cougars try to mount a comeback against 7-12 UMass Boston. It's the first of 4 matches for each of these teams in the UMass Boston Invitational. Black-clad Clark on the attack, but the Beacons get it back with Murphy. Off the block and down, give the kill to Savannah Sanford, only her 12th of the year. Clark has had this 6-point lead, seesawing back and forth between 5 and 6 for the last 8 points. Neither team has scored more than 1 in a row. Diedrick, Catania with the dig. Ramos finishes that one off with authority. Largest lead of the set now, 19-12 for Clark, as they close in on forcing a 4th set. And the Beacons will take timeout. So we only play a couple of points. UMass Boston takes a timeout of its own, and we step aside once more on the Beacons Broadcast Network. Out of the timeout, Beacons on the attack, and Murphy's shots dug up by Sanford, and a Clark finish with authority in the center. Tori Whitney hammers one. Now 20-12, Cougars, who were down 2 sets to love entering this third set. They've completely shifted the momentum. If you're the Beacons here, you might not get them all back, but you at least want to start to get some momentum heading to that 4th set, as that's overhit. And another error on the Beacons, this time Haley Diedrick. 6 in a row for Clark after the Beacons had closed to 15-12. And there's a service error, so UMass Boston's back on the board after Sanford plays it out of bounds. So sitting at 21-13, UMass Boston down 8. Just trying to establish momentum as they'll take a 2-1 lead into set 4. Won't get it there as Ramos finds a gaping hole of hardwood. Off of She and out of bounds. errors that the Beacons were not making in the first two sets coming up time and time again here in the third as the Beacons fall behind by 10 in set 3. Overpassed, an easy finish for Fox. Clark just running away with this one. They've scored 10 of the last 11. Well, if you're UMass Boston, you'll just have to flush this set and refocus, knowing that you're still in the driver's seat up 2-1 heading to the fourth. Pass for Shi. Mercado got a piece, and that's all. Beacons take one back with Eileen Shi to make it a 10-point set. That's a good-looking serve from Murphy for her second ace of this set. Beacons fight off another set point with their second in a row. Still have 8 more set points to try to fight off, and Murphy sends this one directly into the net. Set goes to Clark at 25-15 through 3. Let's take a look around Beaconville. Nobody else in action today. Everybody else plays tomorrow. Men's soccer will take on Keene State. Women's soccer as well, both on the road tomorrow up in Keene. Men's and women's hockey, hard to believe, but they'll open up the season next Friday night on the Beacons Broadcast Network. After 3 sets, Beacons 2, Clark 1 on Beacons Broadcast Network. Getting a look at all these third set highlights. A set dominated by Clark, 25-15 in set 3. Beacons won set 1, 25-19, set 2, 25-22, but dropped set 3, 25-15. And now it's anybody's match as we head to the fourth. Recapping the schedule of this UMass Boston Invitational. 5 p.m. Bowdoin will take on Clark. Augsburg will take on Roger Williams. 7 p.m. Beacons back at it against Augsburg, and Roger Williams will play Bowdoin. And tomorrow, Beacons play Bowdoin at 11 a.m., while Augsburg takes on Clark. At 1 p.m., Bowdoin and Augsburg, and Clark and Roger Williams. And then the Beacons will wrap things up at 3 p.m. against Roger Williams. One of a number of tournaments the Beacons host every season. They also hosted the Beacons Invitational earlier this year. Clark in the black, UMass Boston in the white. Beacons trying to jump back into this match after taking the first 2 sets, but being handled in set 3, 25-15. So Clark will start on the serve with Tori Whitney right at the bottom of your picture. Beacons could use a hot start here in set 4 to rebound after that slow end to set 3. Clark scored 10 of the last 12 points to clinch that third set. Baker overpasses Shi, and that's the type of sloppy stuff we saw in set 3 from the Beacons, after they were very crisp in the first 2 sets. Shi for Baker. And now here's Cohen, blocked. CAHOON can't put it away. Beacons on the scramble, and she has it dug by Sanford. Baker for Sousa, and that's out. Cattaneo couldn't keep it alive, gives Sousa the finish. Now Clark's defense, though, is night and day from the first couple sets to the last couple sets. They're picking everything up. She trying to change the momentum, and she overcooks the serve. Now a 2-1 lead for the Cougars of Clark as they look to even up the match here in this set. Mercado make that Ramos blast it off the antenna to even things up at 2. Service error gives it back to Elizabeth Glavin in the Beacons. Fox has her shot stuffed, and Murphy pounds it down. Beacons have their first lead since very early in set 3. Beacons looking for a 5th consecutive home win, while Clark's looking for a 5th straight win overall. Diedrick. Murphy throws it out of bounds. Was very close to a carry from Olivia Murphy. We're all square at 3. This is Mia Cattaneo to serve. Diedrick picked up by Ramos. Murphy. Now Ramos. CAHOON finds the corner. Colleen CAHOON continues a really red-hot hitting day for the Beacon Junior. Out of Centerville, Massachusetts, went to Barnstable High School. As the Beacons up 4 points to 3 in this 4th set. Mercado off the block. Baker for Diedrick, and there's a Ramos dig. And down it goes off the block. Savannah Sanford picks up her 2nd kill of the match and her 13th of the year. She'd mainly been a defensive specialist throughout this season. Level at 4, with the service coming for Shannon Glass-Smith. Murphy a swing. Murphy again. One more time for the Beacons. And Baker catches the line. Caught the top of the net and the sideline to put UMass Boston back on top. Pepper Baker just finds the corner. Haley Diedrick to serve. Neither team's led by more than a point so far in this 4th set. And it'll stay that way. Sliced in nicely by Ana Mercado to level things at 5. This is Christina Elliott to serve. And the Beacons are called for the double contact on Pepper Baker's pass. Clark regains the lead with Sanford on the service line. 6-5 Cougars as they look to level the match at 2 sets all. Baker for Murphy, and somehow she finds a gap. Julia Murphy approaching double-digit kills. We're at 6-all here in the 4th. Now Murphy back to serve where she rattled off a couple aces in set 3. Almost another off the tape. What a dig by Keban. Baker on 2. Cattaneo got a piece. Diedrick picks it up. Flat-footed out of bounds. That was a point where the Beacons were in control most of the way, but the scrambling defense allows Clark to regain the lead. Ana Mercado. Into the net. Service error for the freshman from Guaynabo, Puerto Rico. Beacons bring back in CAHOON. Get a look at Mike Houlihan, third year as co-head coach alongside Terry Condon. Good piece from Sousa, and the Beacons reclaim the lead. Bri Sousa with the block makes it 8-7. Baker catches the net on the service. So teams trade service errors, and we're level at 8-all. Tori Whitney with the delivery. And down it goes. Baker jumped too early. It ricocheted off she. Clark 9, UMass Boston 8 in a nip and tuck fourth set. Beacons were much cleaner, though, in those first two sets than they have been here in sets 3 and 4. Good set this time from Baker. Off the block. Ramos, too strong. We're tied at 9. Still, neither team's led by more than a point in this set. Neither team's rattled off more than 2 points in a row. Good looking serve that time from Steinberg. Diedrick. Easy for Glavin. Baker for Sousa. And the Beacons run 2 together. 10-9. Bri Sousa's up to 8 kills. Beacons have strung a couple points in a row, and they get going with Steinberg again. Off the block and out of bounds on the swing from Shannon Glass-Smith. We're square at 10. So still, neither team has been able to open up a 2-point lead. Just looking for this one run to change the outlook of this set. Baker for Diedrick. Down the line it goes. Pretty swing from Haley Diedrick, who clipped the block and caught the line. See if UMass Boston can finally stretch out to a 2-point lead. Glass-Smith, that's picked up well. Free ball from Glavin. Caught the net, and that changed everything. Redirected the ball, and Whitney sends it out. There is that first 2-point lead of set 2, as the Beacons have scored 3 straight. Glavin diving dig. Cohen puts it away. 4-0 Beacon run. And UMass Boston by 3. Mike CAHOON up off his seat, and he'll take timeout. Beacons on a 4-0 run. A 13-10 lead for UMass Boston as they try to end this set in 4. As they take a timeout on the field, we'll take one as well on the Beacon Broadcast Network. We continue on here in set 4. UMass Boston, winners of 4 straight at home, leads the match 2-1, leads the set 13-10. Out of the Clark timeout, it's a stuff block for Julia Murphy. Access denied on the swing from Shannon Glass-Smith. Beacons have stretched their lead to 4 on a 5-0 run. All with Elizabeth Glavin back at the service line. And that is out of bounds. Did not catch a touch, did not pass go, did not collect $200, and the Beacons now lead by 5. Diedrick for CAHOON. Oh, good pickup by Ramos. Murphy, the deflection, and Shea finds the hardwood. 7 in a row for UMass Boston. Clark's game is kind of hanging in the balance here. Already down 2-1, and now down 6 in this 4th set. Glass-Smith out of bounds. Again, no deflection. It's 8 straight for UMass Boston and a 7-point lead. What a turnaround after a 3rd set where Clark beat UMass Boston 25-15. Baker picks this one up. Beautifully placed. Pepper Baker with the rainmaker. It's now a 9-0 run. Breaking open what was a very close 4th set. Glaven's been there for 8 straight services. This is her 9th. And the Beacons get another shot at it. Baker. CAHOON off the block. Now Glass-Smith. Good pickup by Glaven. CAHOON again. Off the block and down. Beacon lead is 9 as they close in. 6 points away from a match win. UMass Boston's never beaten Clark. They're 0-2 all time. But they have scored 10 straight points here in this 4th set to break open a close match. That's out of bounds as well. Said in the 3rd set that the wheels were wobbling for the Beacons coming off the tracks. Well, Clark is completely derailed here in the 4th set. They've lost 11 straight. Another error for the Cougars. Ramos, good pickup on the back line from Steinberg. A straight into the net. No chance for Savannah Sanford, who never got it high enough. It's a 12-0 run for the Beacons. 12 straight after they fell behind 10-9. Here's a 12th consecutive serve for Glaven. Beacons pick it up again. There's Steinberg. Murphy, you betcha. Baker's dozen, 13 in a row for UMass Boston, 22-10. And we haven't even seen Mike CAHOON use his second timeout. He might realize this one's just gotten away from him. Glaven right on top of it. Beacon defense is buzzing now, and Murphy's got another. It's 23-10. Beacons have scored 14 straight points, and they are 2 points shy of wrapping this thing up. Murphy softs one over. Finally, Clark ends the run. The kill for Tori Whitney. That stops a string of 14 consecutive Beacon points. Baker for Murphy. Bang! Match point Beacons, 24-11. How about this? UMass Boston has 13 match points to work with if they need them here. They could lose 12 points in a row and still be on match point. Christina Elliott serves. Mercado. Glaven picks it up. And Diedrick plays a free ball. Glass-Smith, and Glaven's there. For the match, Diedrick puts it away, and the Beacons take it 3-1 over Clark. 25-19, 25-22, 15-25, and a dominating 25-11 in the 4th set. Beacons are 8-12. They've now won 5 consecutive home matches, and they send Clark to 17-5. Well, we'll take a quick break. When we return, we'll have the post-game show, and we'll hear from associate head coach or co-head coach Mike Houlihan. That is next on the Beacons Broadcast Network. Yep. With associate head coach Mike Houlihan. Well, Coach, we got to start you at the end before we go back to the beginning. 15 of the last 16 points there to break open what was a close fourth set, bouncing back from tough third set. What made the difference there down the stretch?
I think it was just a lot of hustle plays. The hustle plays really set us apart, and we were able to dictate the pace of the game and create the options that we wanted to create. And they did a good job with that. It's what we were preaching all week, to make sure we're doing those extended plays and make sure we're rallying and keeping the momentum on our side.
It seemed like a pretty balanced effort offensively. Colleen had a big game, and then, of course, you got the offense from Julia you always expect, and Bri Sousa with a really good start, especially in those first couple of sets.
Yeah, and that was our game plan, to go into the game and make sure we're forcing the ball to both Bri and Julia to open up our outsides to create that. So it kind of flowed the way we wanted to. Julia and Bri really started us off strong, and then that opened up Colleen and our other outsides to get some solid sets.
Well, if you look back over the past few years, this is that time of the season where historically you guys start to really get hot as you build up for the postseason. What does a weekend like this with 4 games against 4 good teams do for you moving forward?
Honestly, to tell you the truth, it really does nothing for us. We preach all year that conference is the most important thing, and by winning conference, it gets us in the NCAAs. These are 4 good tests that we have this week. We just had a good start to the weekend with a regionally ranked team. We play a very, very difficult schedule. The girls know that, and with that's going to come losses. But right now, we're doing well in our conference. We're just going to use this weekend to build us up for 2 great conference games next week.
All right, Coach, good luck later tonight.
Thank you very much.
That's Coach Mike Houlihan. We'll be back coming up with stats and a full recap when we return on the Beacons Broadcast Network.
Thanks, man. I'll see you all weekend. See you later.
Fox has her shot stuffed, and Murphy. CAHOON. Baker for Murphy. Clavin. Baker for Sousa. And the Baker one. There's Steinberg. Murphy. You betcha. Clavin right on top of it. Beacon defense is buzzing now. And Murphy. Baker for Murphy. Christina Elliott serves. Mercado. Clavin picks it up. And Diedrick plays a free ball. Glass Smith, and Glavin's there. For the match, Diedrick puts it away. And we're back here at the Clark Athletic Center. Game number 1 of the UMass Boston Invitational is done and over with Beacons with a 3-1 win over a very good regionally ranked Clark team. We'll take a look at the leaders. See, another big day for Julia Murphy. No surprise, 19 kills. And Bri Sousa was so efficient, hit .538 on the day. We previewed Pepper Baker coming in. She ends up with 45 assists. Elizabeth Clavin, 25 digs, continuing her strong play defensively. As the Beacons did a good job limiting Marina Ramos to just 11 kills. Really strong day for UMass Boston. 2 aces from Eileen Shee to help them out as well. Take a look at the overall team stats. Beacons with 60 kills to 31. They just dominated Clark in that final set, winning 15 of the 16 points down the wire and hit 317 overall. Take a look ahead for UMass Boston. They have 3 more games coming up in this UMass Boston Invitational, including 7 o'clock tonight. Seth Orensky will be on the call as UMass Boston takes on Augsburg. That's, again, a 7 p.m. start tonight on the Beacons Broadcast Network. Then UMass Boston wraps up the weekend with 2 more matches tomorrow. They'll play Bowdoin at 11, and they'll play Roger Williams at 3. You heard from the coaching staff and Mike Houlihan about how it's just an opportunity against these 4 good teams to get yourself going for conference play. Well, that'll do it for us here at the Clark Athletic Center. Big thank you to our production crew. From the Clark Athletic Center, it is UMass Boston 3-1 winners over Clark. And we'll have Game 2 of this tournament for the Beacons coming up at 7 p.m. on the Beacons Broadcast Network.
Second of 4 matchups for UMass Boston as the Beacons will take on Augsburg College out of Minnesota. And sorry about that, folks. We have the right headset now, and we're back to action. Welcome back to the Clark Athletic Center Gymnasium. Match 2 of 4 for the Beacons. A dominant 3-1 victory over Clark as the Beacons easily took the first 2 sets. A hiccup in the third before earning a 3-1 win over the Clark Cougars. The Beacons taking on Augsburg College out of Minnesota, who made a mincemeat out of Roger Williams University. A 3-0 victory over the Hawks out of Rhode Island as Augsburg earned a victory of 25-18, 25-7, and 25-7. Take a look right now at the all-time series between these 2 teams. It's only the second ever meeting between UMass Boston and Augsburg College. The first came back in 2013 when Augsburg earned a 3-1 victory on opening day in a match that was hosted by Colorado College, an opening tournament. Ashley Pepper, the 2-time All-American, had 23 kills, hit .391, and had 10 digs in the victory for the Augies. As now we'll move along and take a look at some of the stats from this year. As the Beacon stats up to date, Augsburg heading into the weekend. The Beacons, decent number at 11.3 kills per set. Augsburg, though, a team that was ranked as high as 19th earlier this season in the AVCA poll. Very good hitting team, hitting just above 200. Teams fairly similar in assists per set. Augsburg, a very good defensive team behind true freshman Macy Turhal, the freshman out of Osceola, Wisconsin, one of 3 players out of the state of Wisconsin on this roster, the rest all out of Minnesota. Beacon's a bit better on the block and a bit better serving. They'll have to do well in both of those categories if they're going to knock off the Augies. We'll take a look at the individual leaders. Eileen Shee, the Beacon's talented freshman out of San Francisco, California, just 1 kill shy of 200 on the season. Julia Murphy up to hitting .255 on the year, the 2-time Little East Conference Offensive Player of the Year. She had 19 kills, the season high in the Beacons' victory over Clark. Elizabeth Glavin out of Minnesota. She's played with a couple of these Augsburg players before in open gyms and even club volleyball. She has 361 digs. Good for first on the team, and she's first in program history in digs. Pepper Baker, 519 assists, went over 1,000, the 8th player in program history to do that earlier today. On the other side, Ashley Pepper, she does it all, leading the team in kills and hitting percentage. She's also second in digs per set. Courtney Lemke, the junior setter, leads the team with 592 assists. She was an honorable mention All-American last season. We've already talked about Macy Turhal. And then Jessica Lilquist, the team's 3rd best hitter, senior out of Sabeka, Minnesota. She has 47 blocks. And Michelle Meyer leads the team in aces this season. Take a look at the highlights from the last Beacons home match. That came against Plymouth State, a 3-0 victory as UMass Boston has now won 5 consecutive home matches.
killing it. Like a blind man reading, I'm feeling it. We like, oh, here comes the, here comes the, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like, here comes the, here comes the, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like, here comes the, here comes the, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like, here comes the, here comes the, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like, he gutter when he knew he sold his brother. He ain't never been a fighter. You can go and ask his mother. I'm a lover and a fighter. You saying a rider. When you get a quick fix and give your man a nice shiner. You know y'all don't really want it. And I can tell just by looking at you that you the type of one and go and tell just by looking at you. You on a mission for recognition by this and this. Didn't have no problem till the record started ripping. But I don't really want it. So let me tell you the deal. I'm on so serious. I'm dirty. I'm no longer for real. I'm like a hop, skip and a jump. A clock, grip on the pump. From leaving you in the trunk. Somewhere prepared to jump. But y'all don't really want it. So quit acting like you're deaf. I'm looking to my right.
And welcome back to the Clark Athletic Center Gymnasium. Jane Becker at the back of the screen wearing maroon. The sixth-year head coach led the team to 2 straight Minnesota Intercollegiate Athletic Conference tournament titles. First 2 in program history. 2-time Coach of the Year in the conference, 2-time Regional Coach of the Year. Led the program to their first NCAA tournament since 1982, 2 seasons ago. Also led them back a year ago, but they're in trouble this season as Augsburg comes in at 16-6, 5-4 in conference play, just 2 games left. The Augies could be on the outside looking in depending on how the season goes. Now we'll take a look at head coach Terry Condon, as Condon, one of the 2 co-head coaches on this UMass Boston squad. Condon, an AVCA Hall of Fame inductee this December, as Condon picked up her 225th win at UMass Boston earlier today. The other co-head coach, he's a little bit younger, the AVCA 30 under 30 inductee back in 2013. It's Michael Houlihan, so we'll try to get a shot of him in just a second. Houlihan, in his 3rd year as co-head coach of the Beacons, and Houlihan comes in with a record of 52 wins and 39 losses, 160 overall with the staff. We'll take a look right now at the the Augsburg starters, as the Augies out of Minnesota. They'll go with Macy Turhell, the very talented freshman out of Wisconsin. Courtney Lemke, the junior setter out of Brownton, Minnesota. Jessica Lilquist, the best blocker on this team with her 47 blocks. Jordan Weeding, the sophomore out of Greenfield, Minnesota, leads the team with her 10 block solos, 3rd in total kills. Jalen Art, who played club volleyball with Elizabeth Glavin, junior out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Ashley Pepper, the 2-time AVCA All-American, and Taylor Lynn, the sophomore out of Shoreview, Minnesota, coming in with the 4th most kills on the team with 127. Now we'll let the Beacon starters introduce themselves here on the Beacons Broadcast Network.
I'm Pepper Baker. I'm a junior and I'm from the oh-so-classy Tallahassee, Florida.
Hi, I'm Bri Sousa from Swansea, Massachusetts, and I'm a senior.
Hi, my name is Diedrick, and I'm a freshman from Canton, Michigan.
Hi, I'm Eileen Shee, freshman from San Francisco, California.
Hi, my name is Emily Steinberg, and I'm a freshman from Moore Park, California.
Hi, I'm Colleen Cohen. I'm a junior from Centerville, Massachusetts. Hi, I'm Colleen Cohen. I'm a junior from Centerville, Massachusetts.
Hi, I'm Samantha Weiner. I'm a freshman, and I'm from Pasadena, California.
So a couple changes in the Beacon starting lineup. No Elizabeth Glavin, no Julia Murphy, at least to start. The 2 honorable mention All-Americans. We'll see if they come in and play in the second match. A little bit of just some disciplinary actions. They'll be back hopefully for set number 2, as the Beacons really have relied on those 2 players all season long, as Murphy up to 193 kills, 2nd on the Beacons, and Glavin 3rd in the conference with over 4.7 digs per set. That'll give 2 freshmen a chance to step up, though. Emily Steinberg, the freshman at Moore Park, California, just her 18th match of the season, came in with 36 sets, 58 digs, and 3 assists. Samantha Weiner, the freshman out of Pasadena, California, she appeared in just 11 matches this season, 16 total sets, 14 kills. So Weiner and Steinberg will get the opportunity, with Steinberg wearing the purple libero jersey to start off this match, as UMass Boston in the home whites, Augsburg in their road grays. They'll be right in front of you here to start set number 1. The Beacons and Augsburg both come in at 1-0. This is the 5th total match of the day of 5, as the Beacons got off to a 1-0 start with a 3-1 victory over Clark. Over on court number 2, Roger Williams and Bowdoin are just underway. Tomorrow, the Beacons will take on Bowdoin at 11 a.m. and then host Roger Williams in the final match of the day at 3. On the other side, Augsburg will finish off play as they'll take on Roger Williams tomorrow at 1 p.m. and then they will, at 11, they will host Clark. Beacons off to a 1-0 lead. Eileen Shee, who picked up her 20th ace and 21st ace of the season in that first match, to serve, as she's a little bit too strong there. And we're even at ones. She needs just 1 kill coming into this match to reach 200 on the season. It'll be Dee Mayer, junior out of Middleton, Wisconsin. 42 aces tops on the squad versus just 26 service errors. Cohen on the near side, and Mayer is there. Lemke very tight. It's popped over, but we're going to get a lift there on Augsburg, and the Beacons take the lead right back. For those of you who are wondering what an Augie is, which is the mascot of Augsburg, an Augie is actually a baby eagle. That's something that Augsburg has been called since the 1920s. The school was founded in 1869. As it's Haley Diedrick on the soft over. She's one of the few Midwesterners on this Beacons roster. Out of Canton, Michigan to the near side. Cohen the soft tip, popped up. And it's going to be put over on a flat-footed play there by Dee Mayer. To the near side, it's Diedrick. Lemke trying to find a teammate this time. Soft over from Gibemeyer. And she's ruled out of bounds. The Beacons will take a 3-1 edge. Steinberg to serve here, the first team all-star at Moore Park High School. The near side swung, and that one is going to land just in bounds as Jessica Lilquist picks up another kill. She came in second on the season with her 150. 1.92 kills per set. Steinberg to serve here, the first team all-star. The set for Sousa. Nice job defensively by Mayer to the near side. Soft touch from Pepper, but it falls. Ashley Pepper has had a tremendous career. Senior out of Bloomington, Minnesota. She's led the team in kills all 3 seasons and is well on her way to do it again in her 4th. As there's an ace for the libero, Turhel. Pepper, one of 3 players in program history with 1,000 kills and 1,000 digs. She holds the program record with 1,647 kills coming into today's match. And she has 1,100 in digs as well. This season, she's second in the conference with her 4.37 kills per set, 5th with her .334 hitting percentage. Cohen off the block and down. And we're back even at 4s here in the early going. Michaela Kianko will check in for Colleen Cohen. Kianko, one of the many new faces on this Beacons team, a sophomore transfer out of Clearwater, Florida. Been very good serving over the past couple matches. To the near side, that one going wide, and they're going to say it's off the block as it's a kill for Jalen Arndt. Arndt making her 21st appearance of the season, came in with 123 kills, hitting 127. As we'll see Morgan Malley, the freshman setter out of Harmony, Minnesota, in to serve. Does have 21 aces, good for 3rd best on the team. She from the backside popped up, a great job by Turhel, and it comes all the way over. And it's going to land just out of bounds as Michaela Kianko straddled the line, making sure the Beacons would pick up the point, and we're even at 5. Diedrick back to serve. Waffles that one onto the hands of Turhel. The back set for Pepper. Kianko reads it the whole way. Back to the near side. Set to the middle for Lynn. Off the top of the net. Baker. Steinberg setting She on the near side. Over. Soft little touch, but read nicely by Augsburg. Back line for Mayer. Diving play by Steinberg. Kianku the set back to Steinberg as the Beacons give the over. The set near side for Pepper, down the line. Steinberg pops it up nicely. It's Baker for Shee, cross court, and a big kill for Eileen Shee. One of the toughest parts about playing a player like Pepper Baker is a lot of teams are just not used to seeing lefties. The Beacons have not had a lefty over the past 4 seasons, and it's just a different look that normally confuses opposing defenses. Sousa the set from Baker, and the Beacons pick up another point to extend their lead to 7-5. UMass Boston with 4 of the past 5 points as they look to hand Augsburg their first loss of this tournament. Set for Baker once again. Rather, Pepper. Getting my Peppers confused. Pepper Baker, the Beacon setter. Ashley Pepper, the big hitter for this Augsburg side. It's Pepper Baker near side for Shee, off the block and out of bounds, and the Beacons add another point. Haley Diedrick this whole way has done a very nice job serving. She's normally not a part of their serving rotation, but Beacons missing 2 players to start this set. She's done a very nice job. Steinberg on the reception. Shee down the middle, and it falls as that one fell between Turhell and Mayer, and we'll get our first time out. The Beacons on a nice little run as they've run out to a 9-5 lead. We'll take a commercial break, and then we'll be back with the rest of this first set here on the Beacons Broadcast Network. Down the middle, and it falls.
Come on, Jake. As usual, she wins it. A chance in front. Her shot is in the net. Crystal Leyland, yet another goal.
Please make a gift to the Beacon Athletic Fund today. We want you on our team.
Division III allows you to...
While we've got a second, we'll take a look at one of those several Eileen Shee kills here in the early going, and she has been dynamite to start off this match. See Shee just cutting through the block and then the 2 players on the back side. And she has been very good for the Beacon. She's over 200 kills now on the season. And she could be yet another Little East Conference Rookie of the Year. The Beacons have a couple on their roster just this season alone. As Baker for Diedrick on the back line. Nice job by Turhell to get onto that. The set for Lynn, popped up, and we're going to get a lift there on the Beacons on Pepper Baker. The Beacons at one point had a series of Rookie of the Years. Kirsten Morrison, Emma Roca. Somehow Elizabeth Glavin and Julia Murphy were not named Rookie of the Year, despite the fact that both players, as that one hits the rim and it's ruled Augsburg's point, both players were named Offensive and Defensive Player of the Year, but not Rookie of the Year. Ashley Pepper to try to bring her team within 1, and that's a difficult serve to handle. Haley Diedrick unable to do so on that one. And Augsburg with 3 straight points out of the timeout. And they trail by just 1 at 9-8. Pepper came in with 16 aces, good for 4th on the team. As Sousa is blocked, puts it across inadvertently, and Taylor Lynn the easy kill, and we're even at 9. So after a nice run by the Beacons to take a 9-5 lead with 4 straight points, Augsburg has responded, and we're even once again. Kianko the reception, near side for Shee, off the block. Nice job by Pepper to keep it alive. Pepper Baker puts it down to the block as she just put that one over Jordan Weeding. Weiner will check back in, along with Christina Elliott for the first time. Elliott, the freshman setter out of Camas, Washington, one of the Beacon's top servers. She comes in with 26 aces on the season, tied for second most. The set to the near side, it's Weeding just over the net. Nice job to get under that one by Shee, and Baker will put it across. Set for Lynn, and it's off the hands of Elliott and into the hands of Julia Murphy, and we're even at 10s. Morgan Maui, the freshman setter, has been seeing more and more time as this season has gone on. 257 assists, 3.21%. She's been in during this most recent reception. She gives the Beacons the lead right back. Courtney Lemke started the season as the lone setter, but the team is using a little bit more of a 6-2 rotation as of late, trying to get things started, as Lemke last season was an All-American honorable mention. Baker on the service. A hard swing from Weeding, and a good setup there by Malley. We're even at 11. And either side has been able to get much traction here in the first set, as we'll see Lemke check back in, Malley to the bench. Hard swing from Weeding. Lemke with 13 aces on the season. Baker right back to off the block and down, as Eileen has been tearing it up here in set number one. Murphy and Glavin, a couple players had to step up, and she's done a nice job. Lemke to the near side. Hard swing from Jalen Art, but she's blocked. Put over by Ashley Pepper. Diedrick for Baker, near side for Cohen, and a great dig by Pepper. It's going to go over. For some reason, Cohen played that one. It looked like it was going well wide. Baker for Weiner, back corner, and she puts it in. A nice job by Samantha Weiner, as the Beacons take a rare 2-point lead. Two teams have been trading points for the majority of this first set. UMass Boston had a lead as large as 4 at 9-5, but ever since then we've been trading leads of 10-10, 11-11, and 12-12. Ball off the hands of Weiner. Now it's 13-12. And that 9-9, 10-10, and 11-11. Hard swing. Back to serve is Dee Mayer. Cohen on the reception, gets it right back from Baker, going cross court. Great job to get under that one by Turhell. The set, too strong off the hands of Jalen Art. And the Beacons will take the 2-point lead again. Emily Steinberg awaiting the whistle. Steinberg's service right onto the hands of her counterpart, Turhell. Sent forward, soft touch, diving play by Steinberg, but a bit too much on the dig attempt as she puts it out of bounds in front of the Augsburg bench. 14-13 now, the Beacons with a slim advantage, as we'll see Macy Turhell out of Osceola, Wisconsin, named for the chief of the Seminoles, as Cohen the soft touch, put right back by Turhell. Nice job to keep it alive. Sousa, a second effort, and that is a double touch on Pepper Baker. Sousa's attempt didn't get over the net either way, and we're even at 14s. Osceola right on the border of Minnesota. Augsburg right in Minneapolis. Cohen catches the top of the net, and Augsburg grabs a rare lead. The Beacons had been leading since the early goings. The Beacons will call their first timeout. Before we go to the break, we've got a trio of highlights, including 2 kills from Eileen Shee and a nice kill on the other side for Augsburg. As you see it here, cross court off the hands of Jordan Weeding. Augsburg trying to get back into this match, and then Shee off the block and down. Eileen has had a tremendous first set here for UMass Boston. The Beacons trailing 15-14. They had led for most of this first match. Augsburg, team that's made it to 2 consecutive NCAA tournaments. They made it to the second round of regionals 2 seasons ago, were bumped out in the first round of regionals last season, trying to make it back for a 3rd time in 6 years under head coach Jane Becker. Becker, very familiar with the MIAC, the Minnesota Intercollegiate Athletic Conference, as she was actually a MIAC Player of the Year when she was Jane Gibbs, her maiden name, 2-time All-American, and she was a MIAC Player of the Year when she played at the University of St. Thomas. She's done a great job after she opened her coaching career at Luther College, rebuilding a program there. And we've got a violation this time on, I believe it was Augsburg. And the Beacons will get the side out they desperately need it with Kianko checking in for Colleen Cohen. Even at 15s here, it's a race to 10, win by 2. As the serve from Kianko gets over, and then Sousa puts it wide, trying to get crafty rather than going straight down the middle. She tried to find the line, but a little bit too strong on that one, and it's a bad attack error there after the inadvertent over by Augsburg. Malley back to serve as she checks in for Lemke. It's she for Baker, back near side for Diedrick, off the hands of Malley, and now Malley puts it over. It's Steinberg for Baker on 2. A nice job reading that one by Turhel. Put over, soft touch, Kianko for Baker, near side for Diedrick, and she puts it just wide as the Beacons have put 2 of the past 3 points in the exact same spot. Unfortunately, that spot is on the UMass Boston that sits about 6 to 8 inches wide of the near tape. Kianko for Baker. Baker back to Diedrick, and a great read from Malley. Back to the near side. Soft touch, and that one is just a bit too strong off the hands of April Johnson, the middle hitter out of Moorhead, Minnesota. Diedrick back to serve for the Beacons. Went over 100 kills in the Beacons' first match of the day. Big block from Sousa and Baker. Now it's Ashley Pepper. Steinberg is there. Baker leaving it for Kianko, who's forced to give it back over. Malley, the soft touch for Lynn, just barely gets over, and it's punched up by She. Ashley Pepper, soft touch. Sousa there. It's Baker looking for She, all kinds of space, but she goes soft this time, and Mayer is there. Blocked by Sousa, and it falls. Bri Sousa, the lone senior on this Beacons roster, came in just shy of 300 blocks for her career, which would be the 3rd most in program history. She picks up a solo block there as we're even at 17s. Diedrick coming to the near side. Ashley Pepper to play it. Malley coming across, and that one just caught the top of the tape. Baker forced to dive. Steinberg on the soft over. It's Dee Mayer. Malley looking for Ashley Pepper, popping it onto the tape. A diving Diedrick couldn't get there in time. And that's a great play by Ashley Pepper, who hasn't necessarily been using a ton of force on a lot of her attack attempts, but she's been effective nonetheless. Ashley Pepper to serve here, onto the hands of Diedrick. Baker coming over, looking for She, and Pepper a great dig. Not just a great offensive player, her defense has been very good over her 4 seasons. She threw a couple of players, but a great pancake coming from Ashley Pepper. It's Diedrick. Baker across on 2 as the 2 Peppers go back and forth. Cross court too strong off the hands of Jordan Weeding, and the Beacons even the match at 18-18. Ton of ties here in set number 1. Both of these teams would love to go 4-0. UMass Boston, the lone team that started off this weekend below 500 at 8-12. The Beacons have had a run of 9 consecutive winning seasons as Weeding forced to come way back, and putting it over is Turhal. And that one didn't quite get across as the Beacons will take the lead right back. The Beacons, though, 4-1 in conference play. 2 matches left at UMass Dartmouth on Tuesday night. That's senior night for Bri Sousa, and then a huge match on Halloween down in Danbury, Connecticut, as the Beacons will travel to Western Connecticut State. 2 Beacons get their hands on it, and Elliott forced to dive close to the scorer's table as Elliott will check out. Steinberg back in there, even at 19s. On the other side, the 2-time regular season champ Augsburg College has won 10 out of 11 matches in each of the past 2 seasons as She forced to go cross court, puts it strong. They're in a precarious spot at 5-4, currently sitting in 6th place. Only 6 teams get in. And Augsburg holds just a half-game lead over the team right behind them. That's Carleton College, but Carleton has already beaten Augsburg this season. Malley, near side for Weeding. Great diving effort by Kianko. For Steinberg, She, soft touch. Lynn is there. Malley, another diving effort, but this time Kianko can't get there. A perfectly placed ball from Jessica Lilquist. And Augsburg jumps out to a 21-19 lead, and the Beacons forced to call their second and final timeout. We'll take another commercial break and then be back with you with the conclusion of this first set as the Beacons trying to get back into it here on the Beacons Broadcast
Give
Network.
yourself to other things.
Having that free time allows me to pursue the things that I want to pursue.
Division III athletics affords students the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport.
It allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Back to live action. The Beacons, the first to break their huddle is UMass Boston, playing without Julia Murphy and Elizabeth Glavin, at least for this first set. The Beacons, though, have been putting up a big fight against an Augsburg team that has been ranked in the national polls in 3 out of the 8 weeks this season. Augsburg's fallen out of the polls recently, but finished as high as 19. Two times in a row they've been to the NCAA tournament. The Beacons had made it 5 consecutive years before being tripped up in the Little East Conference semifinals a year ago to Western Connecticut State right here at the Clark Athletic Center Gymnasium. Taylor Lynn on the service. Diedrick is there. Steinberg can't get to it as it hits off the back of Haley Diedrick. And that one, you don't see it very often, but unfortunate for the Beacons. Normally it's the team who didn't take timeout that gets a little bit iced, but this time the Beacons coming out a little bit slow out of the timeout. Baker attempting to set Weiner, and now the Beacons are in a very dangerous situation. Back-to-back points for Augsburg. In fact, 4 in a row. 2 after the timeout, and Augsburg just 2 points away from a first set lead. Taylor Lynn once again. Diedrick, a cleaner return. Perfect kill there as she went off the hands of Ashley Pepper. Nothing the senior from Bloomington, Minnesota could do. And the Beacons get the side out, and Pepper Baker, one of their best servers, will head back there trying to put the pressure right back on the Augies. UMass Boston with 1 point. They need 3 more to even up this first set. Baker, the junior out of Tallahassee, Florida, onto the hands of Ashley Pepper. Over on 2 by Malley. Steinberg thought she got her hands on it. A lot of protest from Steinberg and her teammates, but the head official not having any of it. And it's set point here for Augsburg. Checking in to serve will be Courtney Lemke, the junior setter. Attended Glencoe Silver Lake High School, where she was a 4-year all-conference player. So Lemke has a little bit of room to work with as Augsburg just needs to win one of the next 4 points. A great service. Steinberg forced to jump, and there it's off the hands of Baker. Jessica Lilquist picks up the kill, and that'll do it for set number 1. So the Beacons, even with Augsburg throughout most of the set, but a late 4-0 run and then a kill from Jessica Lilquist, enough for Augsburg to take the 1-0 advantage. We'll take a commercial break, but first we'll bring you the highlights from the first set as the Beacons dropped it 25-20 to Augsburg College. Up another point on the reception. She down the middle and it falls. On the team is then it falls. Tallahassee, Florida, onto the hands of Ashley Pepper. Over on 2 by Malley. Steinberg thought she got her hands on it. A lot of protest from Steinberg to work with as Augsburg just needs to win one of the next 4 points. A great service. Steinberg forced to jump, and there it's off the hands of Baker. And welcome back. The Beacons in their huddle right in front of one of our 2 cameras for this broadcast. Try to have 3 back and working for you tomorrow, having some technical difficulties on camera number 2. We'll take a look at the Beacon schedule coming up as UMass Boston with 2 more matches this weekend, and then their senior day on Tuesday. The Beacons will host Bowdoin tomorrow at 11 a.m. in the first of 5 matches on day number 2. They'll host Roger Williams University in the final match of this UMass Boston Invitational. And then UMass Dartmouth will be the Beacons' final home match of the regular season. We'll have that for you on the Beacons Broadcast Network, a 6 p.m. match. Close out the regular season with a trip down to Danbury, Connecticut, Saturday at noon. As the Beacons closing in on the playoff season, they've already clinched a playoff spot, trying to come away with home court advantage and their 7th consecutive Little East Conference regular season title. Their tournament title streak ended last season. So the Beacons will put in Elizabeth Glavin, and Julia Murphy was out there to start. So the normal-looking lineup for UMass Boston, we'll see if that's enough to give the Beacons an edge here in set number 2 and going forward. Murphy and Glavin, both honorable mention All-Americans as sophomores. Glavin, the program record holder in digs. Murphy closing in on 1,000 kills for her career. As Pepper Baker to serve right underneath the mezzanine level here. Baker a difficult serve, but Ashley Pepper handles it amid a little bit of miscommunication coming between Courtney Lemke and Jalen Arndt, and the Beacons off to a 1-0 advantage. First set was very close, about a dozen ties before Augsburg came away with a 4-0 run. Baker at the top of the tape, and it falls on her own end, and we're even at 1-1. Back to serve for Augsburg, it's Dee Dee Mayer, two-time all-conference player out of Middleton High School. As it's Diedrick looking for Cohen, and Cohen beats the block and through. The Beacons have played with great energy today. They're coming off of a big 3-0 victory at Rhode Island College on Wednesday. UMass Boston trying to string some wins together. They've won 2 in a row. Something the Beacons really struggled to do throughout the first portion of the season. As Pepper through the block, and Eileen Shee could only get her hands on it. Ashley Pepper and Colleen Cohen pretty much doing identical things, although from slightly different points on the court. Both players with very strong swings to get points for their team. We're even at 2-2. Turhell onto the hands of Shee. Baker leaving it for Sousa off the block. Sousa another tap, but a nice defensive play from Courtney Lemke. Pepper Baker forward, Glavin setting Diedrick flat-footed, and that forces Taylor Lynn to go backwards. To the near side for Ashley Pepper, blocked. A great job by Cohen. Cohen another block, kept alive. Lemke flat-footed for Pepper a third time, and it goes off the side of the hand of Bri Sousa and down for an Augsburg 3-2 lead. Macy Turhell has played in every match this season for Augsburg. As Cohen cross court. Nice job by Lemke. Ashley Pepper tried to go from a few feet behind the net that time and caught the netting instead of getting it over. Turhell in her first match of the season had 8 digs. In every match since, all 22, she's had 14 or more digs. Glavin somehow finds the back line, as ducking out of the way of that one was Dee Dee Mayer. And Elizabeth Glavin, who came in to this match with a team leading 30 aces, picks up her 31st. Glavin out of Edina, Minnesota, one of the suburbs of Minneapolis. Near side for Ashley Pepper, off the hands of Murphy, who was on the block with Diedrick, and down on the Beacons end. Glavin and Jalen Arndt both played together at Club 43. Both players juniors for their respective sides. As it'll be Morgan Malley checking in for Lemke in this 6-2. Tempted to put down by Taylor Lynn, instead it flips up on her own side. Soft touch coming there from April Johnson, but out of bounds. And the Beacons own a 1-point lead. Michaela Kianko will check in for Colleen Cohen. As this might be the largest crowd of the weekend thus far. A lot of Beacons fans in attendance, and Augsburg traveling out for a weekend to Boston. One of the better tourist attractions in the U.S., at least in my opinion. And that one is served too long for Michaela Kianko. Pepper to serve here. Glavin on the reception to Baker. Baker looking for Murphy, just got a bit on it, but it got over. And then a swing and a miss from April Johnson. The Beacons take the 6-5 lead. Emily Steinberg, who is now donning her regular white uniform, as Glavin is in the green libero jersey, and Steinberg way too strong on that service in her first action here in set number 2. Taylor Lynn will head back to serve. She's a Concordia St. Paul transfer from the D3 school in Minnesota. As it's Baker, backside for Murphy, diving effort by Lynn, but couldn't quite get there. Lynn actually played softball as well as volleyball at Concordia St. Paul, taking on a much larger role in her first season with Augsburg. Murphy on the service, Malley, far side. It's Weeding. Steinberg looking for Kiyanko, gives it right back over. Pepper, Malley, far side for Weeding, off the block of Pepper Baker, and that one is a diving effort by She, who somehow gets it over from her backside, and then a diving effort by Kiyanko. Not quite sure how the Beacons were able to get that one over, as 3 different players diving to the floor, and that's a tough point to give up, but good effort nonetheless. Tied 7-7. It's our 6th tie of this second set already. Eileen Shee, cross court, read perfectly by Turhell. Weeding, and that one is attempted to get over there by Lilquist, but not able to do so. It's Kiyanko for Baker looking for Sousa, and that one, does it catch the tape? It did not, just a little bit wide. Almost a great job there by Sousa, as Augsburg will take the 1-point advantage. Beacons have held the only 2-point lead of this set, 7-5. Baker over on 2, diving effort by Ashley Pepper, nothing doing, and we've got another tie. Pepper Baker, who started this set serving, will head in there. That tells you how many side outs we've already had. As the soft tip, and it's just enough by Lilquist, as almost every Beacon out there converged on the same spot but couldn't get there in time. Augsburg the 1-point lead, as Didi Mayer will look for a nice service run to open up this second set. Sousa on the reception. Baker for Shee, and they're going to say that one went off the block. It did, in fact, get over. Malley looking for Lilquist, and they're going to say that did not catch the Beacons block, and we've got yet another tie. Did not keep track of ties in the first set. I thought there were a lot. We've already had 8 here in the second. Shee's service, a soft touch. Turhell for Macy, and Ashley Pepper is blocked down her own side. The combination of Cohen and Sousa in on that one. And Ashley Pepper has had a tougher second set than her first. She was able to pick up a fair amount of kills. Eileen Shee on the service. Shee catches the tape. Eileen Shee and Julia Murphy, 2 of the Beacons' better hitters, have struggled with their service errors this season. It's not entirely fair, as a lot of the Beacons have struggled with their service errors, but those 2 especially normally go long rather than short, and Shee just unable to get that one over. Baker for Sousa sends that one way too long, and Augsburg with 2 straight points to take a 1-point edge. Augsburg is not led by more than 1. The Beacons have led by as many as 2. Baker looking for Diedrick, diving effort by Turhell, and that one popped up, and the Beacons are going to get the point after a double touch. 11-11. Lavin back to serve. 2-time Defensive Player of the Year in the Little East Conference. Malley, and she finds Jalen Arndt for a kill, as we've got yet another side out. April Johnson and Morgan Malley will check in. It was actually Lemke on that perfect set for Jalen Arndt, who checks out. Malley with the service error. And I don't need to tell you that we have not, yet another tie. Michaela Kianko is in there for her service and her defense. She'll see if she can get a service run. Ashley Pepper pops it up. It's Malley. Nice attempt there by Mayer, kept alive. Malley near side for Ashley Pepper. Kianko is there. Baker looking for Diedrick. Diedrick is blocked. Nice job by Taylor Lynn. Baker back set for Murphy, soft touch. Great effort by Turhel. Murphy a second effort. Popped up once again. Malley looking for Ashley Pepper off the head there of Diedrick after the block. Diedrick gets it back from Glavin. Flat-footed. Turhel pops it up. Great point going right now. Taylor Lynn finishes it with a bang as she gives her team a 1-point lead after that big swing. Julia Murphy was given a couple of chances but couldn't come up with a kill that time. On the other hand, Ashley Pepper was too. Two great hitters. Stymied by these two teams that are playing very good defense. Baker tried to put it over on two. She's blocked. Murphy through the block. And another tie. The only time that we haven't had a tie here in this first set is when the Beacons went up 7-5. Other than that, we have hit every point total throughout as the two teams even at 13-13. Strong swing by Lynn, who again beats the block. Taylor Lynn, who came into today's action with 127 kills, has been killing the Beacons here in set number 2. Sophomore out of Shoreview, Minnesota. 12 aces coming into the day. Glavin on the reception. She cross court, and she able to find the back tape. Julia Murphy will come right in front of our camera down low. Murphy's service popped up by Pepper. It's Malley. Soft touch from Wheating, blocked by Baker. Sousa an effort to get it down. Now it's Wheating through the block. Steinberg is there. Baker for She off the block and down, and the Beacons take the lead back. 2 consecutive kills from Eileen She. Julia Murphy, the junior out of Canton, Massachusetts, looking to give the Beacons a little bit of a lead. Malley for Wheating. That one floats long, and the Beacons hold a rare 2-point advantage. Just the second 2-point lead of this set for UMass Boston. Augsburg is yet to hold a 2-point edge. Murphy's service, that one's too strong. And Augsburg cuts it within 1. Lemke and Arndt will check back in. Augsburg took the first set 25-20 after Augsburg took a 4-point lead at 23-19 and held off the Beacons. Steinberg for Baker, looking for Sousa, soft touch. A little bit in between that one, but able to get it over. It's blocked down by the Beacons, but out of bounds, and we're even at 16. Done a lot of volleyball over the past 4 seasons, especially UMass Boston Volleyball, and I cannot remember a set with as many ties. Soft touch from She. Now it's put over by Turhel with a ton of pace. Great job by the libero. Steinberg and Kianko will put it right back over onto the hands of Turhel. Malley looking for the soft touch. That time it was Lilquist. Baker and the Beacons forced to give it over once again. Played by Ashley Pepper. Malley to the near side, and a diving effort by Glavin, not going to get there in time as Jalen Arndt picks up the kill on her former club teammate. Courtney Lemke back to serve. She was an honorable mention All-American last season. So we'll take a look at a set of highlights right now, starting with a kill from Colleen Cohen. So you see Cohen going straight down the line, just to the left of the block there. She's had a very nice set. Here was Ashley Pepper just off the Beacons block, and Eileen She unable to do anything with that one. Here's another kill coming from Pepper. She's done a nice job of Bri Sousa mixing up the velocity on some of her shots. And Ashley Pepper is a combination of Cohen and Sousa. Beacons trail by 1 here in the second set. They trail 1-0 here on the Beacons Broadcast Network. Both teams are 1-0 in the day. UMass Boston a 3-1 win over Clark. Augsburg a 3-0 win over Roger Williams. Over on court number 2, Bowdoin and Roger Williams continue to play. Bowdoin defeated Clark 3-0. Roger Williams lost to Augsburg 3-0 as well. Lemke on the service. Soft little service as Steinberg is there. Baker looking for Shee, and that one goes off the block and down. And Augsburg has their first 2-point advantage of the set at 18-16. So after 14 ties, we'll see if Augsburg can hold a lead. Baker trying to get it over, and it's popped down onto the Beacon side by Jalen Arndt. First 3-point advantage for either side in this set. This has been set up by Courtney Lemke. As Augsburg with another 4-point run. They've only had 2 of them, but they've been effective. Sousa off the hands of Ashley Pepper, and the Beacons get a point back that they desperately needed. 2-point deficit here, and Pepper Baker will take her 3rd stab at serving here in set number 2. Already made 2 full rotations, and we're starting our 3rd midway through this 2nd set, potentially midway through depending on how this one ends. Strong swing from Arndt, but Steinberg is there. Baker looking for Cohen, who's forced to give it back over. And Lilquist, that one looked long, and they're going to say it was just a little bit, as the Augsburg fan section in front of us didn't agree. So the Beacons with back-to-back points, and they've cut it to a 1-point deficit. Baker was a second-team all-conference player as a sophomore, converted to setter last season. There's Turhell is there, collided with the teammate. Arndt going cross-court, Glavin able to read that one. Baker looking for Cohen off the block, kept alive by Turhell. Now it's back to the near side, Weeding off the hands of Cohen. And they're going to call that 4 touches as they said that one hit the tape. So we're even at 19s, our 15th tie of this set. Baker's service onto the hands of Ashley Pepper. And it's Lilquist trying to get through the block. Cohen pushing it right back across. Lilquist once again, and Baker's there once again. Steinberg on the over. Ashley Pepper from the back line. Back near side for Arndt, off the block, and a diving effort coming by Ashley Pepper that looked from here like it was going wide, but Pepper went after it nonetheless, and the Beacons take the lead. They trailed 19-16, and all of a sudden the Beacons with 4 straight points to take a 20-16 advantage. We'll take a timeout, and we'll be back right here on the Beacons Broadcast Network.
My name is Allie Greenberg. I'm an ice hockey player here. I'm a junior, majoring in human services, and I'm part of the Key for Hope Foundation. We recycle the keys and stock food pantries with the money. I wanted to bring this foundation to the athletic department, and I believe we can end hunger starting at UMass Boston. I got started with the Key for Hope Foundation due to my father. He's the one who founded this program.
I said, what can I do with a classroom environment giving back? And everybody's got an old key, and keys are made of brass, and brass is a recyclable commodity. And thinking about how many children are in a school system and how far we can go with taking this to do something right for humanity, I started a foundation called Key for Hope, feeding others with the collecting of keys. In 2.5 years, we collected over 500,000 keys. And I'm excited about this whole opportunity because you know what? One key may not seem like much.
Baker to serve here as the Beacons hold on to a 1-point lead after 4 consecutive points. Arndt and Steinberg is there. Baker looking for Colleen Cohen. Great block by Weeding, a solo block that time, and we're even at 20. Pepper Baker picked up her 1,000th assist earlier this afternoon. It came in the first set against Clark. She needed just 7. She picked up 15. It's over 1,040 for her career going into this match as it's Baker looking for Shee as she came in behind Sousa, but a nice job by Augsburg to read that play. Cohen soft tip and another block, but Beacon's able to play it off the hands of Ashley Pepper. Soft tip, and Glavin is there. Pepper Baker looking for Colleen Cohen cross court, and Turhell puts it too strong. And the Beacons faithful to our right are up on that play as Colleen Cohen hit that ball extremely hard. And Macy Turhell just couldn't slow it down enough to put it back in bounds on the Beacon side. Haley Diedrick checks in for Steinberg as the Beacons look to even this match at 1-1. The Beacons lost the first set 25-20, looking to take the second as Arnold get it back to Turhel. She's been all over the place. Baker for Diedrick off the block, and a great read by Dee Mayer to get across. Ashley Pepper going cross court, but Pepper Baker is there. She from the backside, soft touch, and the Beacons get that point. Diving effort by Dee Mayer, but just unable to get there, and the Beacons hold another one of those very rare multiple point leads here in this second set. Eileen Shee on the service, and that one off the hands of Turhel. It looked like it was going long, but Turhel played at the last moment, and she sends it into her bench. The Beacons with their largest lead of the set, and Augsburg will call a timeout. We're going to take a short commercial break and be back with you here on the Beacons Broadcast Network. UMass Boston looks to even this match at 1-1.
The University of Massachusetts Boston. It's just minutes from downtown, and the Princeton Review calls it one of the best values in the country. A nationally recognized institution of academic excellence and research, UMass Boston offers more than 150 undergraduate and graduate programs, 16 Division III sports, and more than 100 student organizations. To learn more about the opportunities waiting for you at UMass Boston, visit in person or online. UMass Boston, a research university with a teaching soul.
UMass Boston holding on to a 3-point edge, trying to put Augsburg away here in the second set, and it looks like we'll get a serving substitution as Christina Elliott will check in for Eileen Shee. Elliott, one of the Beacons' best servers, came into this match with 26 aces on the season, good for second most, and she'll look to close it out right here. Elliott out of Camas, Washington. Beacon's lone player from the Great Northwest is that one off the hands of Sousa. Elliott the set, and a perfect job finding Colleen Cohen. The Beacons look like they have a injury as Haley Diedrick appears to be bleeding. And the Beacons trainer is going to come over and attend to her. So UMass Boston will have to make a substitution, leading 24-20. The good thing is, as long as Diedrick's not in too much pain, she should have 3 minutes, assuming the Beacons can win one of the next 4 points. And the referees are actually going to give them some time as there appears to be a little bit of blood on the court, which of course you can't play there. So we're going to take a look at that last point, and then we'll get you back to live action as the Beacons lead 24-20. Well, we don't have the last point, so we'll just converse a little bit here on the Beacons Broadcast Network. My name is Seth Oretsky, bringing you all the action of tonight's match. Tomorrow it'll be John Skudris on at 11 and 3 as the Beacons host Bowdoin College at 11 a.m. And then at 3 p.m., it will be Roger Williams University in match number 3 and 4. Not quite sure when that ball caught Haley, but hopefully she'll be okay sooner rather than later. She's currently being attended to by the Beacons trainer Tessa Martin, who's one of 2 athletic trainers on staff for tonight's match. So the floor has been wiped. The teams are back out there. Elliott ready to serve here as the Beacons have match point at 24-20 in a set that has been defined by ties, 16 in total. The set near side for Ashley Pepper. Pepper Baker is there. Elliott gets there, looking for Cohen, off the block and down, and Colleen Cohen with a huge set number 2, and the Beacons take it 25-20. So the first set went 25-20 in favor of Augsburg. The second goes the other way, 25-20. And we'll see who can take the very important set number 3 after this set of highlights from the second set, and then a commercial break here on the Beacons Broadcast Network.
on, Jake. As usual, she wins it. A chance in front. Her shot is in the net. Crystal Lady, yet another goal.
Please make a gift to the Beacon Athletic Fund today. We want you on our team.
Welcome back to set number 3 of this UMass Boston Invitational, game number 5. The Beacons and Augsburg College Augies even at 1 set apiece, even with 45 points apiece. It was Augsburg taking the first set 25-20. UMass Boston took the second set 25-20, as we'll try to bring you some of the stats looking at the team comparison thus far. Both teams with 25 kills. The Beacons hitting 227, Augsburg hitting 131. The Beacons with 24 assists, Augsburg with 23 of them. UMass Boston with 4 aces and 6 service errors. Augsburg with 3 aces and 1 service error. 39 digs for the Beacons, 36 for Augsburg. 2 blocks for the Beacons, or rather 3 blocks for the Beacons and 2 for Augsburg. Looking at some of the leaders, Eileen Shee has 10 kills. She's hitting 364 for UMass Boston. Colleen Cohen with 5. Pepper Baker with 20 more assists after hitting 35 in the first match. 6 kills apiece for Jessica Lilquist and Jalen Arndt. 11 assists for Courtney Lemke and 13 digs for Macy Turhell. As this first point is still going on, Baker is blocked and Augsburg takes a 1-point lead. Glavin on the service reception. Baker looking for Murphy. Gets it a second time, and a nice job by Jalen Arndt to get to it first before Murphy. She's somehow able to keep that one and get it over. Lilquist looking for the back corner, and she's too long, and we're even at 1. This match has been defined by late set runs. Neither team has been able to get any kind of early advantage, as we've seen well over 20 ties in this match. Steinberg on the service, on the hands of Turhell. It's Arndt once again off the block. Diving effort by Kianko. Glavin finding Shee. Shee will go just a little bit too long this time around. And it's a 2-1 lead for Augsburg. Ellen Sachs just made her first appearance, and it wasn't very long for the junior out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. She's appeared in 16 matches now, 37 sets. Hopefully we'll see Sachs again and we can tell you a little bit more about her. Steinberg for Baker, and Baker sent that one way too strong for Shee, and she couldn't get it over. Dee Dee Mayer leads the team with their 42 aces, just 26 errors, which isn't bad for a player who's known for serving well. Arndt will throw it over, but she's called for the lift. Tried to heave that one onto the Beacon side. And Murphy will check in to serve. The Beacons were without Julia Murphy and Elizabeth Glavin in the first set. They've played in the second and third and definitely made a difference in that second set. Near side for Ashley Pepper. Murphy on the dig. Baker for Shee. Shee goes down the line and manages to find that back corner. And we have our second tie of set number 3. Julia Murphy on the set. Great job on the over by Lemke. Going over on 2, and it worked that time so nonchalantly. Not only fooled the entire Beacons defense, but had me for a second as well, as we'll see Macy Turhell serve here. Steinberg forced to her knees, puts it over, and it ends up going the Beacons' way. As Macy Turhell's service that time had so much spin behind it that it actually ended up benefiting the Beacons. Great job on the reception by Steinberg just to keep it alive. Pepper Baker, who's known for strong serves of her own, will step back there now. She goes down the line, but Ashley Pepper is there. It's Arndt off the hands of Cohen. Sousa was just to her right, and the Beacons take a 1-point edge. Pepper became the 8th player in program history to reach 1,000 assists. She came in as an outside hitter. As Turhell is going to find Lemke. Sousa, Baker for Shee off the block and down. And the Beacons hold an early edge in set number 3. Meanwhile, we don't have a score on court number 2, but we'll try to get you a final score when it's over. Bowden and Roger Williams continuing to play. Both teams are regionally ranked in New England, as Cohen couldn't handle that one. In fact, 3 of the 4 teams from New England who are playing this weekend are regionally ranked. The Beacons, the only team that's below 500 and the only team not ranked in New England of the 4 teams. Augsburg has been nationally ranked this season. They are not regionally ranked either, as Sousa able to come up with the kill after a little bit of hesitation on the side of Augsburg and the referees. Samantha Weiner will check in for the first time here in set number 3. She got the start in this one along with Emily Steinberg. Rare starts for those 2 players as Eileen Shee will step back to the service line. Shee's service just a bit too long. That was a very good-looking serve. Just couldn't quite find the back line. The Beacons lead has been cut to 1. Ashley Pepper, the 2-time AVCA All-American program record holder in kills. One of 3 players with 1,000 kills and 1,000 digs, and this time it's Samantha Weiner the kill. And there's a fair amount of Weiner's friends and family in the stands of some big cheers after that kill. Weiner can't quite get the block there, and it goes cross court off the hands of Ellen Sachs, just back into the game. Sachs attended South High School, where she was the team MVP and an all-conference player of final 3 seasons. That's 12 kills on the season. She for Glavin. Cohen sending it cross court, but too wide. She started it from such an outside angle, she really didn't have a good look there. And was either forced to hit it softly or try to come up with a great shot, and just couldn't quite find her mark on that one. Taylor Lynn onto the hands of Shee. Baker from her knees for Cohen. This time a much better angle, and she puts it down in front of Ashley Pepper. Turhell to check in for Taylor Lynn. And Michaela Kianko will check in for Colleen Cohen on the Beacons side. Kianko has seen a lot more time as of late. She was one of the last Beacons to join the team. Came on as a walk-on, but she's been very good in her first season with UMass Boston. Michaela making her 11th appearance of the season. 28 digs, 2 assists, and 3 aces. Appearing in her 9th consecutive match, though, out of 11 total. To the near side, it's Sachs, popped up by Kianko. It'll be Shee from the backside. And it's Lemke looking for Lilquist, popped up by Weiner. Baker will give it to Weiner on the soft over. It's Lemke back near side for Arndt going cross court. Kianko unintentionally puts it over. Now it's Murphy putting it down, and the Beacons take that extended point for a 1-point lead. Steinberg will check in for Weiner. That's the Beacons mixing and matching their lineup here in set number 3. A lot of the Beacons youth getting in this match. A lot of family in town for this 4-match weekend here for the UMass Boston Invitational. The 2nd tournament of the year here for UMass Boston as Shee puts it off the block. Beacons had a losing record in the Beacons Invitational, looking for a better time this turnaround, and the Beacons are playing much better here in late October. Soft tip, Shee is there. Baker looking for Murphy, trying to set it cross court, and Ashley Pepper couldn't keep that one alive. 3-point lead for the Beacons, and that'll force Jane Becker to call a timeout. We'll take a look at a couple of Beacons highlights. 3 different Beacons getting involved in the action here in set number 3. See the first one, Colleen Cohen, the big block off the hands of Jalen Arndt. And here's Samantha Weiner going cross court. You see Macy Turhell caught in between, a diving effort by Glavin, and Murphy just flinging it across into the space on the near side. It's 3 different Beacons coming up with big points. And now we'll take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be back with some more third set action. Still in the early going at this point.
My name's Allie Greenberg. I'm an ice hockey player here. I'm a junior.
The University of Massachusetts Boston, with its scenic oceanfront campus, easily accessible to downtown Boston, is recognized as a model of excellence for urban public universities. 16 NCAA Division III sports are part of the more than 100 student organizations that create an engaging campus life in America's biggest and best college town. UMass Boston, Boston's urban public research university for the 21st century.
Emily Steinberg to serve here as the Beacons look for their largest lead here of set number 3. Back to the near side. It's Lilquist off the block. Punched back over by Murphy, but just out of bounds. And that's a good timeout there for Augsburg as they get a little bit of momentum back. It'll be Dee Mayer to serve. She's had at least 1 ace in 17 matches coming into today's action, including 9 aces in the team's season opener against Bethany Lutheran. 9 aces is more than a lot of players will have an entire season. Eileen Shee down the middle, and that one just barely got in as a decent effort there by Dee Mayer, but unable to make the play. Julia Murphy back to serve. Onto the hands of Turhell. And now Pepper the soft over the head of Murphy. That one had a ton of velocity. Is Steinberg able to get there as she slid into her own bench? It's Murphy for Baker, right back for Murphy. Soft touch there from Mayer. And now it's Arndt going cross court. Kianko to the ground. And that one put over by Weeding as the Beacons were trying to get it across. And Pepper not able to keep it alive. Ashley Pepper is a phenomenal player, but she's getting some strong resistance from this Beacons team that's looking to get back to 500. UMass Boston at 8-12. If they were to go 4-0 this weekend, and that's a big if with 2.5 matches left, as Eileen Shee off the block and down on the Augsburg side, the Beacons could get back to within 1 game of 500. They've won 2 in a row. This would be their 3rd. Bowdoin should be a huge challenge tomorrow either way at 11. They're ranked 4th in New England. 2 of the teams ahead of them, Amherst and Williams, both out of the New England Small College Athletic Conference, and 2 teams that beat the Beacons last weekend by identical scores of 3-1. Great dig from Murphy, and she's able to get it back over. Pepper gets a great set on the near side, and she puts that off the Beacons block and down as that one went out of bounds, but the head official said that was off a Beacons fingertips. Beacons leading by 4. It's the biggest lead for either side in the early going of a set. Both teams have taken the first 2 sets by identical 25-20 scores, and we're even at 1-1. Kianko to Baker, right back to Kianko, pushing Turhell backwards. Turhell punches it over to Lemke. Now it's Pepper off the block, off the hands of Glavin, and it's 15-12. Macy Turhell came into this match with 24 aces, good for 2nd on her team. Sends a good service here onto the hands of Steinberg. Sousa able to reach out and keep that one alive. Now it's off the block of Sousa and down. Steinberg and Glavin both dove for it, and we'll get a Beacons timeout with the Beacons leading by just 2. Take a timeout along with the teams as Augsburg has scored 2 points in a row to cut this deficit 2-2.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris, the subway. A man in a tuxedo walked in, and a woman in a long gown. And it was stunning. It all hit me. It was like a lightning bolt. There was this world of beauty and style that I wanted to be a part of. That was the beginning of the journey. And that all came through the University of Massachusetts. And that was really a key moment for me. That's one of those moments you never forget.
Augsburg huddled up in front of their bench. Augsburg's the lone team outside of New England to make the trip this weekend. The Augies out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. On the other side, Bowdoin coming from Brunswick, Maine. Roger Williams from down in Rhode Island. And Clark, who's the only team not in action out of the 5 teams playing this weekend. Clark is out in Worcester, Massachusetts. Augsburg came in early today, did a little bit of service receive as they flew in, I believe, yesterday, hoping to make a long weekend of it and a rare trip out east. The service onto the hands of Steinberg. She soft touch. Great job to keep that one alive by Arndt. Lynn off the block of Baker and down. The Beacons are no strangers to the Midwest as they opened the season with a trip to Elmhurst out in Chicago. UMass Boston has also begun recruiting the Midwest more and more. Elizabeth Glavin out of Minnesota. Haley Diedrick out of Michigan. And Rachel Maslak out of Illinois. Pepper off the block. Back to the near side for Pepper. Off the block once again and down. And that'll be an Augsburg point. Beacons leading 16-14. Haley Diedrick went out late in the second set with what we think was a bloody nose, was attended to by the trainer. She's still on the bench, haven't seen her. She's a normal starter for the Beacons, so that has hurt a little bit. And we'll see if she checks back in, and she's at the end of the bench right now. She just talked to Beacons head athletic trainer, Ed Perkins. And Samantha Weiner will check back in that outside hitter spot for Diedrick, who looks to be reassuring her teammates that she's fine. Christina Elliott's service onto the hands of Pepper. Pepper gets it right back over the hands of Pepper Baker. And the Beacons will take the point. So it's not often that you see this many Peppers on the court at one time. Elliott the service once again, the freshman out of Camas, Washington. As the set for Taylor Lynn off the hands of Christina Elliott as Pepper Baker was diving behind her. And we'll see Elliott check out. Eileen Shee right back in there. Ashley Pepper to serve. She does it all for this team. She came into today's action with 16 double-doubles in 22 matches. Tremendous numbers for a player who's been a 2-time ABCA first-team All-American. Not just an All-American, but from the first team. Colleen Cohen, and Sachs couldn't quite get there as Cohen put it down off the hands of 2 separate Augsburg players, and the Beacons will take the point as their libero, Elizabeth Glavin, checks back in. Elizabeth Glavin was named an honorable mention ABCA All-American last season after her sophomore year. And that one will fall on the Beacon side as Jordan Weeding hit it hard, but right off the top of the tape on her side, and we'll get Augsburg calling the timeout. Beacons lead 20-15. We've got a couple of highlights for you right now from both sides, as this has been the most wide open of the first 3 sets thus far. You see Pepper Baker, the block there on Taylor Lynn. Baker listed at just 5'6", but she's got an immense vertical. Here's the second of our highlights. Pepper Baker looking for Shee, the very soft little tip. That's not normally her game, but it totally worked as Turhel got flipped over. And now a look from Augsburg as there's Lynn getting some revenge off the hands of Christina Elliott and down. Beacons looking for a rare 2-0 day. They came into today's action with just 7 wins, but chance for 2 today to get back to within 3 games of 500. And UMass Boston will likely enter Little East Conference play as one of the top 2, if not 3 top teams in the conference. Beacons currently tied with Keene State College at 4-1 with 2 matches left in the Little East Conference. The Beacons hold the edge over Keene State. They defeated the Owls 3-0 here at home. UMass Boston's won 5 consecutive home matches, as it looks like the match on court 2 just ended. Soft tip there from Weeding, but she never got it over. And the Beacons lead by 6. Glavin to continue serving here. She'll go near side, but wide. Sachs watched it the whole way. And the Beacons coaching staff has talked all season about the need to serve tough. And serving tough when you're trying to put pressure on the opponent's serve receive. Sometimes it leads to service errors. And that one put down hard by Julia Murphy right in front of Ashley Pepper. Beacons lead is 6 with Michaela Kianko checking in to serve here. Kianko's one of the Beacons' steadier servers. Not a lot of aces, but not a lot of errors. As her service dips onto the hands of Ashley Pepper. It's Malley near side for Sachs, and that one catches the line. The Beacons bench did not agree. Co-head coach Michael Houlihan looking over at his bench. And they all sort of grimace, but Beacons still holding on to a 5-point advantage here, trying to take a 2-1 edge. The Beacons dropped the first set 25-20, took the second set 25-20 as She on the reception for Baker, looking for She once again. She goes long as Ashley Pepper watched that one, and now the Beacons, they went from their largest lead today at 6. It's been cut to 4, still a little bit more breathing room. As we'll see the service coming from Lemke. Baker looking for Weiner, soft touch, blocked by Arndt off the hands of Glavin. 3 straight points for Augsburg. The Beacons have a timeout in their back pocket. They're not using it yet as they still lead by 3, needing just 3 points to take this third set. Lemke's service picks out Glavin. Baker backside for Murphy off the hand of an Augsburg player. That was Lemke. Baker over on 2. Lemke the set looking for Arndt down the line. Glavin another nice play. It's Baker for Weiner. Soft touch. Turhell steps forward. Lemke near side for Sachs. Glavin reads it well again. Weiner amongst the trees over to Turhell. And that one will get over, but the Beacons have a chance. It's Baker looking for Murphy. Cross court too strong. And the Beacons in danger of giving this set away as they've had 3 errors on the past 4 points, and they'll take their second timeout. That massive point was such a momentum shifter potentially. As both teams had a couple great chances. We'll take a timeout along with the teams. Beacons clinging to a 22-20 lead here in set number 3.
Come on, Jake. As usual, she wins it. A chance in front. Her shot is in the net. Crystal laid it. Yet another goal.
Please make a gift to the Beacon Athletic Fund today. We want you on our team.
Augsburg's coaching staff talking it over. They're hoping that Courtney Lemke can continue this strong service run. As Augsburg trailed by as many as 6, 4 straight points to cut it to 22-20. Kianko on the diving service that dipped towards the line. The Beacons' lead has been cut to 1. 5 straight points for Augsburg. The Beacons are out of timeouts. I believe Augsburg might be as well, as Rachel Maslak will check in for UMass Boston. First time she's played here in set number 3. The Beacons still talking it over when Lemke served. Maslak for Baker. Baker goes wide as the Beacons go with 2 setters. When they do that, Baker will be the hitter. And Augsburg has scored 6 straight points to tie this one at 22-22. We haven't had nearly as many ties here in this third set. Maslak looking for Weiner off the block. It's popped up back near side for Arndt. Arndt going cross court. Diving effort by Maslak. Popped up by Glavin. The Beacons should have it over, and they do. Lemke looking near side for Sachs off the block. She is there. We're going to get a net touch, I believe, on the Beacons. And Augsburg has come all the way back to take a 1-point advantage. 7 straight points for the Augies, and it's 23-22. The Beacons look like they might cruise to this second set win, but Augsburg had other ideas. Kianko back into the match. It's Baker looking for Weiner. Back near side for Arndt. Down the line off the face of Glavin. And it's a massive run for Augsburg as they now have set point here after 8 consecutive points. This would be a massive implosion for UMass Boston. Don't take away anything from Augsburg, who's played very well here, as Baker tried to find Weiner. Instead, Glavin forced to do the soft overs. That one nearly fell. Sachs off the block, popped up by Murphy. Weiner going over. It's Pepper to Lemke, trying to go over on 2, and that's a huge point for the Beacons as they'll get the side out they needed. And it'll be Emily Steinberg to serve here, trying to even this match up. As the Beacons lose this point, they lose this set. Match is even at 1-1. Big spot for Emily Steinberg. Lemke trying to catch the Beacons sleeping. In that case, it really hurt her. Steinberg biding her time. It's a silent gym right now with court number 2 finished. And Arndt off the Beacons block. And Augsburg comes from 6 down to take the second set, 25-23. We'll bring you the highlights of this second set and then take a commercial break as UMass Boston trails 2-1 after taking what looked like a pretty big lead towards the end of that second set. He goes down the line and manages to find Pepper is there. It's Arndt off the hands of Cohen. 1,000 kills and 1,000 digs, and this time it unintentionally puts it over. Now it's Murphy putting it down. We'll have an entire season. Eileen Shee down. That one alive by Arndt. Lynn off the block of Baker and was attended to by the trainer. She's still on the bench. Haven't seen her. She's a normal starter for the Beacons. So Washington as the set for Taylor Lynn off the hands of Christina Elliott as leads to service errors. And that one points to cut it to 22-20. Kianko on the diving service that dipped towards the line. The Beacons lead has been cut to 1. 5 straight points for Augsburg. For Weiner, back near side for Arndt. Down the line, off the face of Glavin. And it's a massive run for biding your time. It's a silent gym right now with court number 2 finished. And Arndt off the Beacons block. And Augsburg comes from 6 down to take.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris, the subway. A man in a tuxedo walked in, and a woman in a long gown. And it was stunning. It all hit me. It was like a lightning bolt. There was this world of beauty, style that I wanted to be a part of. That was the beginning of the journey. And that all came through the University of Massachusetts. And that was really a key moment for me. That's one of those moments you never forget.
Down the line, off the face of Glavin. And it's a massive run for biding your time. It's a silent. Back to live action. Augsburg leading 2-1 after they used a 7-0 run to take a 23-22 lead. And the Beacons just not enough, as it was Jalen Arndt closing out the Beacons with a kill as UMass Boston cut it to 24-23. Bringing the statistics right now for the individual players. For UMass Boston, 16 kills from Eileen Shee. She's hitting .306. 7 kills from Colleen Cohen. 5 each from Bri Sousa and Julia Murphy. For Augsburg, Ashley Pepper leads her team with 9 kills, hitting .207. 7 kills apiece from Taylor Lynn and Jessica Lilquist. 18 assists for Courtney Lemke. 25 digs for Macy Turhell through the first 3 sets. Pepper Baker has 31 assists at this point. The Beacons have 3 players in double digits in digs. Michaela Kianko, Emily Steinberg, and Elizabeth Glavin. Kianko with 13, Glavin with 12, and Steinberg with 11. UMass Boston will be playing from right in front of us here in set number 4 as the Beacons trail 2-1. Pepper Baker to start off this set. Her service onto the hands of Ashley Pepper. Sousa will put it down as Pepper's serve receive was going to land on the Beacons side. And the Beacons take a 1-0 lead. First 2 sets were very even. The Augies took the first set 25-20. The Beacons took the second set 25-20. It looked like the Beacons would take a 2-1 lead, but Augsburg used a late 7-0 run to take a lead, and they won 25-23 as she all kinds of discombobulated on that set from Baker and unable to get it over. We've been even at 1-1 in all 4 sets, and we've seen a massive amount of ties early in these sets. The second set alone saw 16 different ties as she watches that one go long off the hands of Dee Mayer. Last match of the night here for the UMass Boston Invitational. We'll be back with you tomorrow at 11 a.m. as Pepper fields that service from She that looked like it was going long. And Glavin dives on that Ashley Pepper kill attempt with She right behind her. A little bit of miscommunication there by the Beacons. Beacons will take on Bowdoin, who's sitting right below us, scouting UMass Boston for tomorrow's 11 a.m. match. Augsburg will play 2 matches tomorrow as well as Cohen comes up with the kill off the block attempt from Taylor Lynn. Beacons holding on to a slim 3-2 lead here as they look to get some momentum back after that third set. Crushing finish for UMass Boston as it's played by Arndt. It's Baker looking for Cohen, and Cohen hits it off the block and down. Out of bounds there for a Beacons point. Glavin has been one of the Beacons' most consistent servers over the past 3 seasons. Leads UMass Boston this year. Was named the regional tournament most outstanding player as a freshman. When the Beacons defeated host Williams to move on to the Elite 8. Last year, the Beacons missed out on the NCAA tournament. And Glavin a soft service, and there's Murphy off the head of Lemke. They're going to say Murphy went over the net on that one. Condon and Houlihan can't believe it for the Beacons as Lemke immediately asking for it. And that's when you know you're a true competitor. You don't care about the fact that you just got hit in the head in public. You're more focused on the fact. And Glavin a soft service. There's Murphy that you thought your competitor did something wrong. It's Baker for Murphy, and it's blocked down on the Beacons' end once again. So the Beacons looked like they were going to go up by a few points after Julia Murphy had potentially a block and a kill. Instead, Augsburg has cut it to 1 at 5-4. Morgan Malley continuing her service run. Baker looking for Diedrick. Good to see her back out there after she went out with a bloody nose to end the second set. And we're even at 5s. So a little run for the Beacons, and Augsburg answers here early on in set number 4. Malley the service, Diedrick on the reception. Baker looking for Cohen off the block. Glavin pops it up over. Cohen a nice block there on Ashley Pepper. Far side, it's Weeding. Baker for Glavin looking for Diedrick. Soft tip, diving effort by Turhill, but she puts it underneath the net. As Jane Becker has some words for the down official. Kianko to check in for Cohen. The Beacons hold a small lead. Kianko, one of 11 new players on this Beacons team. One of 2 transfers alongside Colleen Cohen, who came to the Beacons from Wheaton College in Massachusetts. Pepper Baker looking for Haley Diedrick, and she puts that one in front of Turhill. So Diedrick looking just fine after missing a set plus. That was the first set that she's missed all season long. She and Eileen Shee, the 2 Beacons freshmen to have played in every set. That shot too strong off the hands of Jordan Weeding. And Michaela Kianko puts that one just below the tape for a service error. The Beacons leading 8-6. In fact, UMass Boston, Julia Murphy and Elizabeth Glavin missed the first set. It's the first time that either of those players had missed a set this season. And now Diedrick missing it due to injury, so that's 3 of the Beacons' normal starters, players who play in every set who have missed at least one set here against Augsburg. Turhell, and Sachs somehow gets it over. A great diving effort by a pair of Augies, and it's Murphy, the soft tip over Sachs. Sachs did not play in the first 2 sets, came in the third, and she's looked pretty good for Augsburg as Emily Steinberg will check in. Bit of a stoppage, and now we're back to live action. Steinberg's service onto the hands of Ashley Pepper. Malley going out wide for Weeding. Glavin for Baker. Coming across is she. Nice job to keep that alive. Turhell, and it's Ashley Pepper forced to go on the soft over. The Beacons thought there were 4 touches. Murphy down the line, and she's able to put it in as Macy Turhell has some of the most flexible body parts I've ever seen, as she consistently dives all over the place and then flips up over on her shoulder. I'm sure that if I tried doing some of the things that she's done today, I would be in all kinds of pain tomorrow, as Taylor Lynn comes up with the kill there. That's what you expect out of a good libero, to just lay out and give up the body, and both she and Glavin have done that today for their respective squads. It's Taylor Lynn on the service. Glavin is there, puts it over unintentionally. Malley for Sachs, off the block and down on her own side as Baker joined Murphy on that block. The Beacons out to an 11-7 lead, eerily similar to the last set in which they took a 22-16 advantage, only to fall 25-23. UMass Boston trying to force a 5th set here on their home floor. The Beacons have won 5 consecutive home matches, trying to make it 6. Strong swing, but too strong off the hands of Weeding. The Beacons opened their home slate with 3 consecutive losses in the Beacons invite, trying to make it 6 consecutive victories and a 6-3 overall record, as we've got 3 highlights, and they all come from who else? It's Julia Murphy. She has been dynamite since entering this match in the 2nd set. See here, Murphy going up on the solo block. Leads the Little East Conference coming into today with 78 blocks. Another block, this time joined by Pepper Baker on Ellen Sachs. And then Baker, this one was the one that actually didn't count as it went off the head of Lemke. She was called for the infraction on going over the net that time, but Julia Murphy has definitely had a very good day today. She had a team-high 19 kills, a season-high 19 kills, and the Beacons win over Clark, a 4-set victory. As she is now over 200 kills. She joins Eileen. She is the lone 2 Beacons over that mark. Haley Diedrick went over 100 earlier today, and Bri Sousa should be reaching that mark shortly as well. Murphy a little bit too strong as she was iced by the timeout, and she'll check out. Elizabeth Glavin back in there for the Beacons. The other side, it's Courtney Lemke checking in to serve for Augsburg. Lemke's service onto the hands of Steinberg. It's Baker looking for Sousa off the tape, off the hands of a couple of Augsburg players, including Kaylin Giese, who's in for the first time, the sophomore middle hitter out of New Richmond, Wisconsin. Played her club volleyball at Kokoro, which is actually located in Minnesota. 3 cheeseheads on this Augsburg team, but 2 of them from very close to the state of Minnesota. As it's Arndt, soft touch, blocked by She. Now she goes across and gets that one to fall just in front of Emily Steinberg. Steinberg has a quick word with co-head coach Michael Holohan. And we'll see Dee Dee Mayer step back to serve. She off the block, popped up by Glavin off the ceiling, and it's put over by Steinberg. As that one went well into the rafters. If it hits the rafters, it's in play. Apparently, if it hits the rim on the basketball court that hangs just above where our camera is showing, it's the other team's point. Baker looking for Colleen Cohen. Now it's Lemke looking for Pepper cross court. Pepper Baker is there. Glavin to a flat-footed Colleen Cohen. Ashley Pepper far side for Arndt. Pepper Baker reads it perfectly. She plays it back towards the field of play. And it's Pepper through the block and off the hands of Emily Steinberg to cut the deficit to 2. Playing a 2-court setup in today's match to try to move things along. We've got a timeout for the Beacons. We'll take a timeout as well. We're halfway through this 4th set. The Beacons lead 13-11, but they trail overall 2-1 thus far.
The University of Massachusetts Boston. It's just minutes from downtown, and the Princeton Review calls it one of the best values in the country. A nationally recognized institution of academic excellence and research, UMass Boston offers more than 150 undergraduate and graduate programs, 16 Division III sports, and more than 100 student organizations. To learn more about the opportunities waiting for you at UMass Boston, visit in person or online. UMass Boston, a research university with a teaching soul.
Back to live action as Diedrick Mayer is ready to serve. Her team trailing by 2. Augsburg would love to get this set over with, get the win, and go home to their hotel. The Beacons looking to extend it as Eileen Shee a little bit too strong. The Beacons hit 448 through their first 2 sets against Clark, but then they struggled hitting the ball the rest of the way in their 3-1 win. They have not hit anywhere near as consistently against this markedly better Augsburg side. Sousa off the block. Steinberg for Baker. Far side for Cohen. Soft tip. Diving effort there by Lemke. Keeps it alive to Ashley Pepper. And Meyer puts it in ahead of Steinberg, and we're all even at 13. Every time the Beacons look like they're going to run away with it, Augsburg has an answer. In fact, I think most of the people in this gym thought that the Beacons would be holding a 2-1 lead heading into this set. Instead, Augsburg had a 7-0 rally when they were trailing 22-16. And now they take another lead here at 14-13 as they've rattled off 5 consecutive points. Mayer continuing to serve. This time, Kianko keeps it alive. Baker inadvertently over on 2. Now it's Ashley Pepper down the line. Glavin, the nice dig there. Cohen through the block. It's once again a set for Pepper. Cohen, a flat-footed kill attempt. It's Lemke looking for Mayer, and that ball falls in between 4 Beacons. And UMass Boston's thinking about calling their second timeout here, but still plenty of time left. As Augsburg has rattled off at least 6 points in a row now. They look to take this match in 4. It's Mayer. Baker looking for Sousa off the block. Coming from Giese. Arndt blocked by Shee, and it hits the up official. And it's a 3-point lead now. How much longer can the Beacons go? They've already used one of their timeouts during this run when they were still leading. Diedrick Mayer came in as the top server on this team with 42 aces. She's done a nice job of avoiding the service errors that plague so many of the best servers. Glavin forced to come forward. Baker looking for Cohen. She was in the same spot. Cohen's blocked. And the Beacons are forced to use their second timeout with Augsburg leading 17-13. It's a huge run right now for Augsburg College. We'll take a timeout and see if the Beacons can get back into it here on the Beacons Broadcast Network.
Jake. As usual, she wins it. A chance in front. Her shot is in the net. Crystal laid it. Yet another goal.
Please make a gift to the Beacon Athletic Fund today. We want you on our team.
Augsburg on a 9-0 run. The Beacons led 13-8, but the Augies have responded with 9 in a row. Baker leaving it for Cohen. Lemke popped over by Ashley Pepper. Baker looking for Cohen. Cohen off the block of Ashley Pepper and down. The Beacons sorely needed that one. They cut a 9-0 run and cut the deficit to 3. Haley Diedrick back in there. Emily Steinberg, who Augsburg picked on a little bit during that run, will check out. She, a long service, and that's just what you don't want to do. A service error to give Augsburg the side out right back. Macy Turhell, second on Augsburg in service aces, will look to follow up what Dee Dee Mayer, the team's top server, just did. Diedrick off the block, ping-ponging off of a pair of Augies and down. And the Beacons get an important side out. Now they'll send Glavin back there trying to get a bit of a run. It's a 3-point deficit for UMass Boston here in set number 4. They trail 2-1. Glavin service onto the hands of Mayer. Lemke looking for Ashley Pepper off the block and in nonetheless. And the two teams trading side outs. In this case, it favors Augsburg big time as the Augies trying to close out this set and this match. Leading by 4, needing just 6 points here in the 4th set. It's Malley on the service. She to Baker looking for Murphy, soft punch, easily read by Lynn. Malley looking for Ashley Pepper, cross court. Baker pops it up. Glavin finding She, and that one doesn't get over, and it's a 5-point advantage for Augsburg, their largest of the set. The wheels have come off for UMass Boston in each of the past 2 sets, thanks to big runs from Augsburg. In the 3rd set, it was a 7-0 run. Here in the 4th set, it was a 9-0 run as the Beacons trail by 4 now. Both times the Beacons held comfortable leads, looked like they were going to close it out. And both times, Augsburg has shown just the sheer willpower to get back in it. Kianko on this service. And she'll pick out Ashley Pepper. Malley looking for Lynn, who got way up there and spiked that one down. And Augsburg's within 4 points here of a 2-0 day. Ashley Pepper, who else to serve here? Pepper does so much for this team. Baker goes over on 2. As the setter spiked that one down. Beacons trailing by 4, but they haven't been able to get any kind of successful service runs since that 9-0 run. It's been one and done for UMass Boston. See if Emily Steinberg will do the trick. Onto the hands of Sachs. Malley looking for Lynn. Popped up by Kianko. Steinberg for Glavin. Now the Beacons have to play D. It's Lynn coming across. Glavin keeps it alive, and another over coming from the Beacons, this time from Steinberg. Turhell, Malley for Sachs, off the block and down, and the Beacons never got their offense going as they trail by 5, with Augsburg needing just 3 points to close out this match. Taylor Lynn, the sophomore transfer, back to serve. Lynn service onto the hands of Glavin for Baker. Finds She, and that one's off the hands of Sachs and down. 4-point deficit, and Julia Murphy to serve as Glavin will take a seat. The Beacons need a service run, and they need it very, very soon if they're going to force a 5th set. Murphy service onto the hands of Pepper, and now it's a soft tip coming there from Giese. Put over by Baker, but kept alive by Turhell. Now it's Weeding, a great read by Kianko. Baker looking for She. She off the block and down, and the Beacons get back-to-back points for the first time in a while. 3-point deficit for UMass Boston, and Jane Becker doesn't want to take any chances. She'll call timeout, and we'll take a timeout along with the team, so the Beacons trail by 3 here in set number 4.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
Having that free time allows me to pursue the things that I want to pursue.
Division III athletics affords students the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport.
It allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
The Beacons out well before the conclusion of this timeout, and Augsburg does the same with still 25 seconds to go in that timeout. Beacons trailing by 3. Julia Murphy back to serve. As Murphy's service onto the hands of Pepper once again. Malley looking for Geezy, and it's blocked down on the Beacon side. It's a 4-point deficit. Courtney Lemke, who had a great service run in set number 3 to turn this match on its face, will look to close it out. Kianko for Steinberg, forcing the line judge to back away. Now it's Sachs. Lemke looking for Geezy, who comes up with the kill, and it's match point here for Augsburg as they try to go 2-0 on the day. Beacons have held leads in each of the past 3 sets, but in danger of falling 3-1. Popped back over, a great job defensively by Augsburg. Baker looking for Shee, blocked on the Beacon side. It's Baker over to Glavin, soft over, and a nice job getting to that one by Geezy. Ellen Sachs off the block and down, and Augsburg uses 2 huge runs, 7-0 in the third, 9-0 in the fourth, to come back from deficits and to earn a 3-1 win over UMass Boston. Augsburg with their 2 victories, now 18-6. UMass Boston falls to 8-13. We'll play the highlights from this 4th set, and then we'll bring you the final stats and team leaders as UMass Boston falls to 1-1 on the day. Augsburg 2-0 as we conclude day number 1 of the UMass Boston Invitational here on the Beacons Broadcast Network. Ashley Pepper. Sousa will put it down as Pepper's serve named the regional tournament mostly. Malley for Sachs, off the block and down on her own side. And Glavin a soft service, and there's Murphy off the head of it. Pepper Baker looking for Haley Diedrick. Today I would be in all kinds of pain tomorrow. As Taylor learned, soft touch, blocked by Shee. Now she goes across and gets that one to fall just in. And it's Pepper through the block and off the hand. He keeps it alive to Ashley Pepper. And Nair puts it in ahead. Baker looking for Cohen. She was in the same spot. Malley looking for Lynn, who got way off here. Pepper does so much for this team. Baker goes over on 2. It's the hands of Glavin for Baker. Finds Shee, and that one's off the hands of Sachs. Now it's Sachs. Lemke looking for Geezy, who Beacons have held leads in each of the past 3 sets, but in danger of falling 3-1. Popped back over, a great job defensively by Augsburg. Baker looking for Shee, blocked on the Beacon side. It's Baker over to Glavin, soft over, and a nice job getting to that one by Geezy. Ellen Sachs off the block and down, and Augsburg uses 2. Ashley Pepper. Sousa will put it down as Pepper's serve named the regional tournament mostly. Malley for Sachs, off the block and down on her own side. And Glavin a soft serve.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris. The subway. A man in a tuxedo walked in, and a woman in a long gown. And it was stunning. It all hit me. It was like a lightning bolt. There was this world of beauty and style that I wanted to be a part of. That was the beginning of the journey. And that all came through the University of Massachusetts. And that was really a key moment for me.
I don't hear anything.
And welcome back to the Clark Athletic Center. My name is Seth Radsky, joined by co-head coach Michael Houlihan. Coach, you had a couple of players who had played in every set this season, not available. Haley Diedrick had that nosebleed, and that obviously hurt your defense. 2 big runs, though, by Augsburg. 7-0 in the third, 9-0 in the fourth. As a coach, what do? You guys used your timeouts. What are you talking about in there? How do you improve that for tomorrow? It could have been a 2-0 day. You played a very good team that's been nationally ranked, just not able to come away with the win.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to expect those. I mean, we have a young team, and Augsburg's a very disciplined, good team. They've played a lot of good teams, too, throughout the year, so they're used to this. They're never playing down. They always have that mentality that they're always up, and we just needed to adjust, and we didn't. Yeah, we had some issues along the way, but we had the next man up come in, and they did great, and we just got to make sure that we eliminate those runs, and I think that will be a much different game.
one of the big notes about today, Pepper Baker became the 8th player to reach 1,000 assists, and she's becoming a lot more consistent as this season's gone along. Obviously a tough transition from outside hitter to setter, but what have you seen in her game over the past couple of weeks, or even just today, that's showing that she's making that adjustment to becoming an actual setter?
Yeah, Pepper's been doing great for this team. I mean, moving her from the outside position to the setter, I mean, we saw something in her, and that something was leadership, and I think that's the part that really keeps her together. And as she goes, she's developing more and more into an actual setter. She understands the position, she understands the nuances and running an offense, and I think she's going a long way, and I think she's got a long way to go, but she's going to get there.
One last question, Coach. You have 2 regionally ranked opponents tomorrow. Bowdoin, always a tough one. They're ranked 4th in the region. Roger Williams is number 13. What do you want to see out of tomorrow? Maybe not wins and losses, but how do you take that step forward with Dartmouth and Westcott looming next week?
I think that's a good point. I mean, right now we're just still looking to get better. I think today showed that we could play with whoever. It's just a matter of consistently doing it for all 3 sets, and I think that's something that we're going to work on. So tomorrow we're going to keep working on that. We have 2 big conference games next week, and we just got to make sure we get a little bit better this weekend so we could compete. And we're just showing all these teams that we could play with them. And if we were to do well in conference and get into the NCAA's tournament, we're going to make a splash.
Well, thanks so much for your time, Coach. Good luck tomorrow. The Beacons will be back in action at 11 a.m. as they host Bowdoin College 3 p.m. tomorrow against Roger Williams. That'll do it for this post-game interview. We'll have the stats on the other side of this commercial break.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
The University of Massachusetts Boston. It's just minutes from downtown, and the Princeton Review calls it one of the best values in the country. A nationally recognized institution of academic excellence and research, UMass Boston offers more than 150 undergraduate and graduate programs, 16 Division III sports, and more than 100 student organizations. To learn more about the opportunities waiting for you at UMass Boston, visit in person or online. UMass Boston, a research university with a teaching soul.
Come on, Jake. As usual, she wins it. A chance in front. Her shot is in the net. Crystal Lady. Yet another goal.
Please make a gift to the Beacon Athletic Fund today. We want you on our team.
And welcome back to the Clark Athletic Center Gymnasium for the final time tonight as UMass Boston fell 3-1 to Augsburg. A 1-1 day for the Beacons, who defeated Clark 3-1 earlier today. First, we'll bring you the team leaders as UMass Boston got 16 kills from Eileen Shee, 42 assists from Pepper Baker, who had over 70 on the day. Elizabeth Glavin had 21 digs over the final 3 sets. Ashley Pepper was held to 13 kills. Didn't have her greatest of days, but it was enough in a winning fashion. Courtney Lemke with 25 assists. Macy Turhell with those 31 digs. Pepper with the 1 block. Lemke with the 1 ace. We'll show you the overall statistics right now. As UMass Boston actually had the better end of almost every statistical category. The Beacons with a few more kills, better hitting percentage, assists were dead even. The Beacons with more digs, blocks were dead even. 1 more ace for Augsburg, but it was just those big runs for Augsburg late in both the 3rd and 4th set that proved to be the difference. UMass Boston also had 9 more service errors, and in a match that was this tight, that did the Beacons in, as UMass Boston actually ended up with 8 less points on the day, and they had 9 more service errors. So you can point to that as part of the problem for the Beacons. I'm going to give a shout out to our production team right now, as they were here for both matches. My name is Seth Dorensky, the producer and play-by-play guy. Carl Pawson, Jose Pena, your directors. Anthony Searles on instant replay. Steve Consiglio and Sarah Alenardo were our camera operators. Couldn't get camera 3 to work, but Steve Witowski helped us out in match number 1. Remember, we'll be back in action tomorrow at about 10:45 on the Beacons Broadcast Network. It'll be John Skudris on the call as the Beacons will host Bowdoin College at 10:45. Thanks so much for watching, folks, and have a great night.